You're officially old. It's all good. You have bad shoulders. You got shingles. It's all good. No worries, man.
I don't know, man. Like, I just skated out on the ice. Like I've done a million times, and I'm known to fall over, but only when I'm doing things. And then I just fell and fucking boomed my shoulder super hard.
Your skates rust. I've never heard of that before.
Well, you wouldn't know. I mean, I've played hockey my whole life. I didn't even know this.
Yeah. You know, it's so silly to me that you're eating jalapenos out of a jar.
They're pickled jalapenos.
Pickled jalapenos out of a jar. Why?
They're sliced.
No, but why?
It's leg day, and I need some energy, man. I went real hard at the gym. I need to get
right.
I need to get my energy levels up by consuming.
Oh yeah, because it takes a lot of energy to yap on a podcast. Understandable.
My blood sugar's low, Austin. It's dangerously low, man. I need some sugar.
All right, fair enough, man.
When are you getting a fucking light, Austin, and a camera?
Dude, okay, here's the thing. First of all, I don't even think my camera is bad. I'm a streamer. Well, who needs a good?
What's your camera?
Fuck if I know.
C720. It's a standard Logitech webcam.
Yeah. So
it's really not about the camera. It's about the lighting. You can make a C720 look really good with like $200 in lighting, Austin.
The lighting is a ring light that I bought on Amazon for $8.
Austin, do me a favor. Do me a favor. Here's how you know if you have good lighting or not.
Right.
Open up a white screen on your first monitor. Just a white page.
Yep. And
if you could see a major difference in lighting, then your lighting is bad.
How does it look like?
It doesn't look good. Okay, it looks like you've been flashbanged.
I can't see it. I can't see it because hold on. It's my.
It's like a 3 times brightness difference.
Yeah. All right. Well, understandable.
Okay, and here's what happens if I open up a white screen. Can you see the difference? It's hard to tell.
Yeah, I can actually.
It's hard to tell though. It's hard to tell. It's not that easy.
Nah, I can see it though because I'm looking for it.
Yeah, I know, but what you need is not a fucking ring light. Get a big ass like a LED panel, like one of these things, and point it at the wall. That's what fucking Pokimane did, I think, for like years.
Oh,
because then your whole wall is the light source, and then it's good.
Right. Okay. I'll look at it.
Ring lights. Listen, audience. Ring lights are the biggest fucking scam in history. They're only cool because if you're real close, oh, there's a sticker in my eye. Oh my god, it's so cute.
That is part of the appeal. Look, you can see it in my glasses. Look. Yeah. This is part of the appeal. It looks cool until it doesn't, and then you also have shitty lighting, so it's like.
Yeah, but it's
but shit. Listen, here's the thing, okay? As a CS streamer, half of the time I play with my light off anyway. Motherfucker, this is my POV on my stream. I'm literally in the fucking back of the webcam. It's pitch black.
Yeah, professional streamer, by the way.
Dude, XQC doesn't even have a light. Dude, streamers don't even need good lighting. Okay.
Okay. Well, listen.
You only need good lighting
if you go with XQC. That's some bullshit, okay? Because XQC has grinded out the hours. And he's also just like the most unique human being, okay?
Yeah, that's true. Okay, you can't actually use XQC.
There is no other. There is no second. It's like saying Conor McGregor did something. Like, come on. I'm just fucking addicted to these things, dude. They're so good. Oh my god.
This guy's just munching over here.
They're so fucking good, man. All right.
Fair enough. Hey, that's fine with me.
Oh my god, they're spicy.
I have no tolerance for spice.
Don't worry, bro. They're sliced, tamed jalapeno peppers. Tamed? They're not very hot. They're only a tiny bit hot.
Only a tiny bit hot, right? So you had to get the tamed ones.
How's the gym?
Sounded like my Twitch chat, bro. Fuck.
Yeah, I saw your Twitch chat ask, but I didn't see the answer, so now I'm asking.
Well, look, the truth is, it's seen better days, man. It's seen better days. But I will say, on the weight loss journey, down 40 pounds since the first of last year. So that's not bad. It could be more. Hard to tell, which is the thing that's like kind of worrying.
Wait, but it's hard for you to tell, or it's hard to tell?
It's hard to tell both ways, in my opinion.
You take some before and after pictures, like not the.
I do have some before and after pictures.
You have the before pictures?
Yeah, the before pictures, and most of the weight that I lost is like actually in my body. I still have fat face, man. It's unlucky.
Yeah. I'm not agreeing. I'm just saying, yeah.
This fucking guy.
As in
He can't
moving
even...
on. I mean, as in moving on.
Hey, all
to the
right,
next
fair enough,
topic.
man. Fair enough. This guy. Anyway, so we should have moved on.
Yeah, I had to justify myself
let's
because
get
it sounded
into,
like I was calling you fat.
Let's get into CS then. I saw the other day that you were watching some of the RMR matches on the Dust2 stream. How was that?
Yeah, I was lightly distracted by you messaging me the entire fucking time, Austin. Why don't you tell chat what you were messaging me? Why don't you
were being a comedian.
Why don't you tell chat what was going on? What you were spamming me with?
Because you were being a little jokester on the Dust2 stream, and they weren't getting your jokes.
What is that?
So mean? I don't know. I don't quite remember everything you were saying, but you were talking about how Momo doesn't even deathmatch, and he's still a really good player. He said it fatigues his fingers or some shit. I have no idea what you were talking.
He really does do that. Momo doesn't.
You were talking about this on the Dust2 stream, and they weren't understanding, and I was just messaging him, telling him that I thought what he was saying was pretty funny.
Austin's fucking lying to you so hard right now.
How am I lying? This does
not represent accurately Austin's messages.
Okay, well then what did I say?
I don't want to listen. I don't want to ruin your.
Oh, okay. No, that's fine. Yeah, let's not ruin Austin's image.
No.
I was supporting a friend. That's all I have to say.
Will you shut up? Listen, here's the problem.
Right.
I can't talk after eating. Why am I eating these, man?
Yeah, why the fuck are you eating them,
They're
man?
so good, dude, and my blood sugar, man, it's so low. Oh my god. I need a fucking Coke, dude.
Go get a Coke.
I don't want. You think I just have them in the house, dude? Fuck.
Yeah, bro. Like, why not?
Because I'm trying to be healthy, Austin.
Right. I am too, actually. Believe it or not, I've been eating chicken and rice almost every night. It's actually kind of nice. It's kind of nice.
Austin,
it's a change in diet.
Listen,
no, I was just thinking about it, bro. I'm just thinking,
you know, you can make food that tastes good as well as is healthy, right?
It's not bad actually. The chicken is, spiced.
I've been munching on some sandpaper. It's real low calories. I'm gonna be able to stick with it.
Hey man, I switched up the diet. I've been liking it. I've been enjoying it. After about like a week of eating it, I'll probably hate it. But for now, it's nice.
I actually found something that's fucking amazing. It's ground turkey breast. Or chicken. I used chicken today. And black beans, tomatoes, mushrooms, and eggs. And then with some cheese on top and some salsa. It's actually not like very unhealthy. It's like it's insanely filling for the amount of fucking for the macros.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be trying that, but anybody else can.
Black beans, bro, are goated. Goated. Black beans are goated, bro.
I hate beans. I just can't. They're just so bad.
What do you just eat them?
Every time I eat one, I'm like, ugh. That's how I feel.
One
I can't.
Bean?
No, yeah. Fuck, bro. Every time I eat some, I'm like, bah, this shit is nasty, dude. I can't do it. Can't do it.
How have you tried beans?
I do like green beans though. Does that count?
Have you had a burrito with like black beans?
Yeah.
And you think that's gross?
I think it's gross.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
Gotta get it without the beans. Anyway,
Austin, let me hit you back up with something, okay? Because a couple of podcasts ago, by the way, I've been reading the comments of the podcast, okay? And the comments are really negative and they're really mean and they really hurt my fifis, okay?
They made me happy,
but
actually.
I want to apologize to... what the fuck, Austin? I want to apologize to absolutely fucking nobody, okay? Because this is Austin. This is the conversations we have off screen. Austin was about to go, I actually really liked them, and then be the biggest asshole for a solid hour. That's what Austin usually does off stream. But on stream... He's like a totally different. I'm just fucking around. I'm joking.
This guy. No. But in reality, we did have a discussion about the podcast being stiff because the comments said that we were not very.
But that's
free flowing.
We took a month off, right? That's how you.
We took a month off, and we decided that when we come back, we'd be lighting up and just kind of shooting the shit, as it were.
All right. Okay. Sorry. What I wanted to ask. Fuck. I forgot what I wanted to ask, Austin. You interrupted me.
Dude, just start writing shit down, man. This is getting embarrassing.
I do write things down. I've got a lot of stuff written down. In fact, I've got so much shit written down. I don't even know where to start, bro. It's a fucking Right.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get to it then.
Okay. So last time, the podcast number one of them.
Yes.
You were saying that you have no problems with CS2.
Right.
None.
However, I will say that since I started competing in a team and I've been playing a lot of important matches, there's some things that really irritate the fuck out of me. And one of them is the smokes. I might have mentioned this the last time, but the smokes are miserably hard to hold. Like, if I smoke off like ramp on Mirage and you want to come through the ramp smoke and kill me, you can. It's like, it's the second, like the actual frame that somebody comes through the smoke, you both like can see each other at the same time. In CSGO, you would get gray screen when you came through, so you would have an advantage holding a smoke. In this game, you don't. I actually have a really good clip showcasing this. If you'll wait a second, I'll show you. But it's actually just the worst. Like, smokes are impossible to hold. And I think a lot of teams are struggling with this. And so the only real thing I have is like Peeker's advantage is kind of a problem sometimes. But
isn't that, I mean...
It's not. It's
talking
not
about Peeker's advantage or you're talking about smokes. Isn't that like the same thing?
But they go hand in hand, right?
I don't feel like you had much of an advantage. I remember between Source and CS:GO, it was like a massive change.
Here, look at this clip that I sent. This is prime example of how holding smokes has changed.
I don't know how to get this clip on stream, Austin.
I have it on stream. I have it. Well, look.
Open it.
I'm showing it.
Send it in your chat so I can open it and drag it to my second monitor.
All right, fine. So here's a round from the Dust 2 stream. So this guy's holding the E-box smoke, Cameron,
into sports
and somebody
really enjoyed the Dust 2 stream, didn't you?
Somebody runs through the smoke, kills him, kills his teammate, and his opera's out of position because of it. This guy gets a 3K by walking through the smoke. This is prime example of why the smokes in this game are so much harder to hold.
Austin, why don't you say this is prime example of operas being shit?
This has nothing to do with operas being shit.
Look at that shot he misses.
Dude, who gives a fuck about that? Why is he even in this position? This should have never happened.
Yeah.
Like, look, he literally has an advantage coming through the smoke. Like, Cameron gets jump scared and the entire B site crumbles. If you walk through the smoke in CSGO, the other team would type at you and laugh like, what the fuck are you doing walking through a smoke? In this game, dude, it's actually what you're supposed to do.
I would love to see the other guy's POV.
Yeah, but we don't have it, so it got eaten.
I feel like that did happen in CSGO also.
I mean, it could happen more. It happens more. It's very, very hard to hold people coming through smokes.
Yeah,
like,
that is an egregious example. I feel like his crosshair was so close. But he also did he have armor? Did he not have armor?
Yeah, he did.
No, I mean head armor.
So
he had head armor?
I think so. Yeah, hold on, let me pull it back up.
Yeah, no head armor. He just got fucking.
Well, regardless,
I feel like this could happen.
That could have happened in CS:GO, but I feel like he, on average, like 9 times out of 10, would kill him. In this game, I feel like you have a genuine 50-50 coming through a smoke most of the time. It's so much so that I actually started trying it in my pugs. Anytime I have a rule in pugs, if I see a smoke, I go through it. And I'll be honest, it has a very, very scary success rate. It's hard. It's hard to stop people from coming through smokes. That's the one problem I have. And if the Peeker's advantage is noticeable, that's the
only problem.
Genuinely, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I can't think of anything that's like really bothering me about the game other than that. I mean, there's some various complaints, with random things like the servers being bad, but like that's not the game. Like, if you play on LAN, which is what I think of, 'cause I compete, I don't think there's that many problems. In fact, most people that are playing on LAN have no complaints at all, because holding smokes, you can actually do it.
All right. That's your only gripe?
Yeah, it is. Right. You can ask my teammates. I bitch about it every day. At least like we have to have an hour carved out in our practice schedule just for me to bitch about it, because it frustrates me to no end.
How's the team coming along, Austin?
It's actually doing pretty good. Team Wicked, yeah.
4-0
Do you like 4-0 in main? Not really. We're 2-0. We're gonna be 4-0 this week.
I saw you go 2-0 like fucking 2 weeks ago, Austin.
Are we 4-0? I have no idea, to be honest. I don't keep track of my matches, but we almost made closed for the RMR, which was nice. A few rounds away. Then a tragic. Are you eating the fucking jalapenos again? This guy, dude, he's addicted.
Well good, man.
Anyway, we had a tragic choke on T-side nuke in the third map versus Los, but yeah, I mean, we're playing pretty good CS. I'm very happy. Competing in CS2 is really fun. But yeah, smokes makes me sad. I'm also not the biggest fan of shooting and blowing up smokes. I don't think that that's a fun feature, but I'll get used to it.
I need some cool. I don't know why. I gotta put these away. Austin,
this guy is actually unreal. You guys point and laugh. This guy eats jalapenos on stream. They're not even hot. Then it progressively gets to now they're hot. Now he's going to get a drink. And he has the tamed ones. The ones that aren't even as spicy. You know what that means? That means he's just bitch made. That's crazy.
Yo. All right.
Anyway, I hope he feels better though.
They make me salivate, man. They make me salivate when I eat them. That's the problem. Not that they're too spicy.
Oh.
But the spiciness is causing the salivation,
Hey man, I'll take your word for it.
I don't know. People always used to tell me I have like this weird. I know I have this weird thing where like I this is so weird. I salivate.
Yeah, it's just you.
I salivate too much, dude. I can hear it in my voice sometimes.
People used to tell you that? How does that just come up in conversation? I don't think I would
not
ever.
Not in person in YouTube comments and stream comments. Like,
oh, okay. You have me a little worried.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It's whack. It's whack.
I've never one time thought, damn, this guy salivates like a motherfucker.
You're gonna hear it. It's like that thing where like you can hear when someone needs to clear their throat. It's kind of similar.
All right. Hey, you learn something new every day.
Hold on.
All right.
No, you're up. It's your topic next, Austin. You're next up.
Motherfucker, it's been my topic.
Yeah. Wait,
all right.
No, I brought up a topic about CS, and then what was your topic? Your topic was the jalapeno.
CS2's smokes.
I know you were talking shit about jalapenos.
Here's one. Jalapenos suck. Tell me this. What is the upcoming plans for your YouTube channel? Any upcoming videos that you're excited to work on? Anything
I've got a video on Kenny S. It's probably coming out in the next 3 or 4 days. Yeah.
No, that's gonna be good. Yeah, Kenny's actually still been competing in CS2. I saw. At least he's been pugging. I don't know if he's playing. I thought he was fully retired, but is he still good?
Here's the thing, and whenever I think about this, Austin, I think about you, and you know exactly why I think.
This can't be good.
You know exactly why I think about you. So
is it the fucking op peak thing?
So when the people talk about Kenny S getting nerfed because of the op scope change. And I wasn't really a fan of Kenny S at the time. I watched Guardian, like any self-respecting person that wants to be better at CS. You watch Guardian, or now it's like Device. If you're thinking Kenny S, just think Monacy. It's the exact same playstyle. Okay, Same thing. You're not probably watching Monacy if you want to be like a good positional upper, probably.
Right.
Okay, so I would watch Guardian because fuck Kenny S. Okay.
Oh, it's fuck Kenny S now.
Okay. Anyways, so when the op nerf happened, and everyone was like, like a year later, everyone was like, I think that Kenny S got destroyed by the op nerf. I was like, how true really is that? Because the way you would optimally peak with the op is exactly the same before and after. You still before the op nerf, you still didn't want to be scoped in, walking into angles into oppers. That's still a disadvantage. It's the same speed as the Negev. Imagine you're running around with the Negev. Are you ever wanting to peek into a fucking opper with the Negev out? No, you're fucking dead. Even if they're right next to you, you're just dead. Okay? So you still wanted to... There was just a little more leeway in, like, you could fuck up a little bit, or you scope a little early. And riflers basically had no chance. But you can still peek riflers with an op just fine. At least as long as it's not on land. But, like, so even on land, oppers still peek riflers fine and get kills. It's just, like, not guaranteed.
So you're telling me, long story short, is you don't think that he got worse when the op got changed?
No, but then I watched his gameplay, and it's clear that the op nerf just destroyed him. Because he played so, like, wrong. But he was just so fast. And he was just so fast that he could take a shot and get away. And he was unkillable for riflers without getting at least 2 or 3 shots off. And even though he was just like Monacy, really, it's like the exact same thing because he misses way too many shots and he repeaks over and over and he's just dummy fast. He was just like unkillable. So yeah, the op nerf did fuck him. Although there's a curveball I've got that I can't leak. You gotta watch the whole video for that.
Yeah.
But there's, the op nerf definitely fucked him more than I expected because every other opper did better after the op nerf. Every other opper.
Interesting. It is interesting to compare old Kenny S to Monacy today because I actually do think that makes a lot of sense.
They're the same.
Never really thought about it, but they are very similar. They rely so heavily on their ability to be fast and flick accurately that they just make some plays that don't make sense. So you would never be able to replicate that play style.
And you know what's ridiculous is that Kenny S, HLTV number 6 in 2014, they said in the HLTV number 6, he's clearly the best individual player of the year. But HLTV used to do their rankings a little differently than they do now, where it's like team success, who gives a fuck? We're ranking you based on your individual skill. They changed at some point, and now it's individual skill. But at the time, it was like, oh, he's just not done enough. His team hasn't done well enough.
Well, you want to know, that was 10 years ago. I didn't even play the game at all. I didn't start playing CS until 2019. So that's like a fucking history book for me. I have no idea what the fuck you guys are talking about. All I've seen is clips. I wasn't around back then. I didn't even play back then, so I have no clue.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically...
I just have to, like, imagine what it was like, but you remember, old man.
It's hard to remember. It's hard to remember, because I didn't think Kenny S... I didn't think the Opner's... I thought that, like, it coincided with him just having a downturn. Obviously, it hurt him a little bit. But if you watch him play, it really did fuck him up pretty hard. Yeah. But anyways, I have so many fucking notes, dude. That's the problem. I have so many ideas for I have so many good ideas. I can make a 45-minute video where I have a good idea every once in a while that's like, I've got so many good, like, lines, one-liners. And then I make a video and it's only 9 minutes long. So I have to throw out all this good shit. I should be making longer videos, but then, listen, if I take 5 months to make a fucking 9-minute video, not getting any longer, are we?
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Austin, what do you think of the have you seen the tweet about 30 Valorant players getting burned out with 30 games?
I haven't. No, actually. No. Okay.
I'll hit you with this tweet.
But they're getting burnt out after 30 games a day? What
in
is
VCT 2023, the best Valorant teams burnt themselves out playing nearly 30 matches in 6 months. I'll put it in your chat.
Whoa! Oh, no.
The struggling teams played less than half that. That's not good, and it's only going to get worse. Okay? And if you read the quote tweets, they're just screenshotting CS and just Anonymous, 226 games played. Fucking some other team had 130 in 3 months or something.
I think genuinely I might have played more than 30 matches in the past week, including qualifiers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't feel burnt out. What's going on over there?
So you don't feel any experience of burnout at all?
I mean, I have for sure, but not currently. I remember there was times when I would be competing multiple matches a day, sometimes, many times a week. You'd be playing a best of 3 and turning around and playing another best of 3. And even when I was at my busiest as a competitor, I never really felt burned out. I actually feel more burned out when there isn't CS to play, believe it or not. Because you feel like you're grinding for nothing. Think about it. You're putting in all this work to be good, and then you just have no purpose in life.
So do you think this tweet is ridiculous?
Oh, absolutely. It's ridiculous.
But hold on. Because you just made the counter argument against yourself. What if you only had 30? What if you only... Oh, well, the worst teams, I think if you don't make playoffs, you don't do well in the first event.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You only play like 12 games.
I see what you're saying, though. So, because I said I would be burned out if I wasn't playing, you think that because they're not playing enough, that they might be saying what I'm saying.
Imagine for a second, Austin, you're a pro player, okay?
Right.
And you know that come January, you have 10 games, and if you do well in them, you've got a job next year. And if you do shit in them, you probably don't have a job next year. And there's just 10 games in January, fucking make or break. Isn't that like a uniquely fucking extremely stressful situation where it's like...
That is true.
It's like if you're Liquid and you lose to M80, you're just like, fuck it, go next. We got fucking blast in 3 days. We could do better. We're better than that. In this, it's like off day. I guess I'm just fired. Like, see you next fucking lifetime.
You know what? Actually, you're right. That does make sense. I would have to agree that with the additional context of there's a lot more stress for them. It could make sense. I still think it's
the guy's
ridiculous.
Clearly framing it as 30 games being too much, but which is ridiculous. 30 games is not too much.
It's not too much.
I think it's too little. I feel like it's actually too little. it's too. I feel like it's just that's the pressure that's the problem.
If the HLTV has a stat for maps played in the past like 3 or 6 months,
yeah,
and I'm pretty sure if you're under like 40, it labels you as like inactive or something, or like not inactive, but like there's like a classification that gives you a label.
Yeah, there's just so many games in CS. I mean, there's too many. So many. There really is. There's too many.
Yeah, 100%. But I like that though. For me. Like,
yeah, because if you fuck up, you can go to the next one.
Exactly.
Right?
Well, as somebody who's trying to get into that, if you are always grinding, you know, like there's teams like Liquipd who will just show up and be like, well, you know, fuck this. Let's go next. But for us, that's a good chance. We get to take advantage of, you know, that off day that those teams have a lot more.
Yeah.
Like if you're a competitor, you want as many chances as you can get, like trying to get into the scene. Once you're established, I could see it being annoying. And maybe that's when the stages of burnout would hit harder. But
I also just feel like
I'm chilling.
Okay, I'm gonna make oh god. Yeah, I'm gonna make a reference to something I see
really
a lot.
don't like when you do that. It scares me.
There's something I see with women's CS. Okay, they'll get invited to like whatever ESL, some tournament, and some people will say, well, they need these games to get practice against men's teams so they can get better. But I feel like that forgets the whole idea that you can tell me what % of your improvement comes from playing literal matches and what % of your improvement comes from playing practice.
I would say the majority of the
like 90.
Whenever I improve, it's probably 90% in practice, but there is some very like memorable standout things that have stuck with me forever that I learned in matches. But if it happened in like scrims beforehand, I might not remember it as much.
Yeah, you definitely get some like there's some definite experience that you get from matches. But
like
not if 90% of everything is from practice. And I don't want to get stuck on this. This is why I'm interrupting you. I don't want to get stuck because that's the point I'm making about this Valorant shit, the burnout. 95% of your fucking time is practice. We're talking about practice, guys. We're talking about fucking practice. That's where the burnout, in my opinion, most of the burnout comes from. So if you're playing for an org like Astralis that, you know, whatever, was fucking making their players play like a stupid amount apparently in 2018, that's why they all got burned out or whatever. That's not from the match, although it is from the matches, but that's not from the matches, it's from the fucking practice. We're talking about practice.
Yeah, that makes sense. And that makes a lot of sense. I mean, I know like a lot of teams when they're like boot camping, they are playing 12 hours a day. Like they're genuinely playing 10 scrims a day. That's 10 games of CS. And then some of them are turning around and queuing FPL at night. Like they're genuinely playing 15, 16 hours a day when they're like boot camping. And those aren't even matches. Like none of those are officials. And then they'll go play one best of 3 a day.
You think CS players bring it on themselves a little bit with like the excessive practice, like adding in FPL afterwards and all this other stuff?
No, I think we're just addicted to the game, dude.
Yeah.
I think enough. I mean, look, Twist lost that tournament the other day, or a couple months ago, I guess. They lost that tournament, and Twist went and started playing retakes. Like, literally the minute that they got off stage, he just went and started playing more CS.
I remember people hyping that as, oh my god, look at how dedicated he is.
No, that's not dedication. That's not dedication. Dude, yeah. That's addiction. That's addiction. That's what I'm saying. You're addicted to the game. They literally just lost a tournament, and he turns around and he just starts playing again because he doesn't know what else to do with himself. Just like these kids, they get out of boot camp and they're like, well, fuck, I'm not tired. Time to QFPL. Like, dude, they don't know what to do.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of have not the idea, like the mentality. I think a lot of players play better when they play less. Like I feel like people
100%.
Like the Momo example is the perfect one. Momo literally doesn't practice. Well, when he was playing with Upswing, and I don't think he deathmatches now either. He just fucking plays. Maybe he plays a few pugs and then he plays the fucking scrims and matches. Like, and then practicing. You think that practicing would make him way fucking better. But that's not always the case. And I think that, well, Zayu doesn't deathmatch, right? He just pugs a bit and then plays. There's actually, Fur was talking about it, that he never pugs when he was peak SK. I think it was Fur. It was someone on SK. A lot of players have talked about they only play scrims and matches. They don't fucking pug. They don't deathmatch. I feel like a lot of people just burn themselves out, dude. And they don't you don't realize it. There's burnout that you realize, and then there's burnout where you're just playing worse and you're not improving off of your skill, off of your practice.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I know when I started playing like a lot it started to make me worse. Because before I started streaming and like doing content as much as I do now, I only played scrims and matches, and then every once in a while pugs with the boys. But it wasn't like that. Like I was only focusing on team stuff, and I was a lot better. And then I started streaming and doing pugs and like basically spam queuing for content. And I've noticed that after a certain point, I started to get worse at Team CS as well because I was just getting tired of playing.
Yeah.
And then I stopped playing in a team to just do content, and then it got better. Then I started doing team stuff again, and now I'm getting to that point where I'm like, it's hard to keep up with, right?
Yeah.
So I think that there's something very real to that. You might be a better player when you don't play as much. People don't want to agree with that because it genuinely doesn't make sense if you think about it, like analytically.
Then you have to accept that talent exists, because if someone playing less can be better than you, that they must be talented.
Oh, there's definitely natural talent. There definitely is. Like
that's
people
a controversial statement, Austin. Just
I mean, it depends on who you're talking to. People have talent in this game, but I don't think that you need to be naturally talented to still make it in the game.
Well, there's levels of talent.
Yeah, I mean there is.
For example, Get Right says, I didn't have talent. I was just I played a lot more than everyone else. And I'm like, there's no such thing as no talent. You had maybe less talent than the people around you. I'll give you that 100%. But there's levels of talent. You can ascribe talent to gets better consistently by playing more. There are people. I was gonna say I'm a little bit biased when it comes to the practice thing, because when I play bad, dude, if I launch CS for the first time in a month or 2 months, I pop off relatively. I pop off for the first like week. But then if I'm playing like shit and I'm like, fuck, dude, I'm playing so shit, I gotta go deathmatch. Every hour I deathmatch correlates to, I promise you, I get actively worse, even if I'm doing it for like a month. When I was in Europe, and I was trying to get global, I was playing like shit, so I started deathmatching a bunch, and I started playing even fucking worse. I was playing so much worse. I don't even understand why. It doesn't make any sense. I just feel like there's like so many avenues of talent, like learning speed, consistency of improvement. And some people, one thing I talk about this a lot to like people that ask demo reviews, they're like, how fast should you get to Gold Nova? I got there in 2 months. Is that too slow, too fast?
Yeah, I get that question a lot too.
Improvement isn't linear. Like some people improve really quick, really well at the start, and then they taper off and they can't improve later. And some people are the opposite. Yeah.
I get that question a lot. People are like, oh, I have 8,000 hours and I'm MG2. Is it too late for me? Like, no,
it's too late. No, if you're hold on, well, 8,000 hours.
Okay, that was just the first example I thought of.
You're going so hard on this one.
Right,
there's people in MPL with 3,000 hours.
Let's scale it back. All right, let's say I have 3,000 hours and I'm MG2. Is it too late for me? Then I always tell them, no, you probably just haven't been playing to get better. Like, there's a difference between playing with the intention of improving and playing because you're having fun.
True.
And once you start like actively trying to improve, you're gonna improve, like learning and watching demos. People would come to me and ask for demo reviews, and I used to do demo reviews on my Patreon. Still exists, by the way. No,
why don't you do them anymore?
But I don't have time. Anyway,
why don't you just do them on stream? Launders does them on stream.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Launders used to charge $80 for a demo review and do it on stream, I think.
I
could just be going on the internet and lying, but I'm pretty sure it was $80 and he streamed.
I'm sure somebody would do it. Yeah. Anyway, so people would come to and they would ask me for demo reviews, and I remember there's like people like, again, 3,000 hours and I'm, Gold Nova 4. What, like, I don't know how to get better. And I ask them like, oh, do you watch your own demos? No. Okay, well, when's the last time you tried to learn smokes? I don't even buy smokes. The fuck are you doing then? Like, I don't understand. Like, how do you expect to get better if you're just gonna sit here and just queue the game every day, run Mirage, run out top mid, die to the Opera, and go, man, I just don't think I'll ever be good at this game. Like, dude, have you tried to get good at the game, or are you just like you know what I mean? Like, but when I tell them that, they're like, you know what, that makes sense, and then they start improving. Like, it like kickstarts them to get better.
There are some people that literally just get better by just grinding. I feel like that's a lot of players, actually, a surprising amount of players. How often do you hear a player that was like, yeah, I just played CS when I got home from school every day, and I was in FPL. I don't know what I just like all of a sudden. I don't know.
Well, yeah, because they got on and but it's like seeking information on how to get better, watching games and learning meta so that you have an advantage over people so you can get to that level. I mean, there's people that just never do that. They just don't do that, and that's why they're not improving. You just play your matches, play against people with auto snipers because you think the auto sniper is broken, and then get upset about it. You know, like that's the average CS experience.
But, Austin,
let me hit you with something for fun, okay? All right. If you could play with only 3 guns for the rest of your Counter-Strike days, what would you pick? And that's it. Like, you're limited. You can only buy 3 things, and of course, you get your Glock and your USB for your pistol rounds, whatever.
5 guns.
You can only buy no. But those
5.
are just a given.
Do dualies count as 2?
No. I started with 5 in
That's
mine.
That's 2 guns, like, Austin.
I was starting with Glock and pistols. Like,
the dualies are 2 guns, man.
Okay, they might be, but we'll count them as 1. Just to be clear. All right, so you get to pick 3 guns to use in CS for the rest of your days. What are they and why? You gotta be thoughtful about this. Because do you pick the op? It's expensive. You're gonna have to use it. Like, you can.
Hold on, I'm allowed to buy other things.
No, you're only allowed to
No. But what if I drop to a teammate?
Yeah, you could drop them. Yeah, but you can't use them. You're only allowed to use 3 things for the rest of your CS career.
So it's got to be.
Because I know what I would pick.
Most likely, the actual real answer is AK-M4 MP7.
MP7.
It's statistically the better weapon.
Okay,
hold on. Let me go off on something. The MP5 is statistically a worse weapon, and it's not even fucking close, people. It's not even close. The MP7 will kill in 2 less bullets than the MP5. But you'll see people that be like, well, technically, the MP5, it only does 2 less damage per hit, and it only does 2 less damage. But if you actually do the math, in the vast majority of circumstances, the MP7, if you shoot someone in the body, or if you headshot them and then shoot them to the body, it's at least 1, if not 2 extra bullets with the MP5, okay? The MP7 is drastically better. It's not even fucking close. How do people use the MP5?
The MP5 does suck. But let's say, here's what I would pick, okay? For my 3 guns, okay? I'm obviously going to pick the AK, because why wouldn't you? I'm going to pick the MP9. I think the MP9 is way too good and way too broken to not use. And you might think, oh, well, why wouldn't you pick the Deagle? You know, because I suck with the Deagle. I'm going to be real. If I have to use the Deagle every eco, I'm crippling myself. I would much rather have the MP9. And then, of course, I would pick the A1S. I don't see why you wouldn't. A1S, AK, MP9. There you go. That's my 3 guns.
Yeah, I was
personally.
close to saying MP9 because like you
MP9's
don't really
too good.
need. Well, that's the thing because you don't really need necessarily an SMG on T side. That like you can get away with like.
You could.
If you're a baller and you go AK body armor, you can always afford. You can.
True.
True. Hold on. How strategically sound or unsound do you think AK no armor is on second round? If you won.
Okay. Depends on the rest of the team's buy. Because if you have a bunch of people to do that, you're fucked. But if you do it and everybody else buys normal stuff like Mac 10 and nades or Galil and nades, probably fine if you play off of them. Strategically, I think it's pretty sound as long as you're in a place that makes sense. But if you do it and everybody else also does it, then what the fuck are you hoping to achieve? You're just going to contact out against an entire fortress.
Yeah, you just 5-man swing mid on Mirage and you hope that they fight back.
And get scouted, and then you're like, oh, where'd he go? And then you get scouted again. Now 2 guys are low. Then the guy swings out bottom con with a 5-7, and oh, now everybody's dead. I don't know what happened. And yeah, exactly. You get full blinded.
5-7 is the most bullshit gun in the game because on one hand, it's like unbelievably good, but on the other hand, it's like I feel like if someone is just far enough away, it's like I just start shooting, and sometimes I stop in the middle of shooting, and I'm like, I really hope I fucking finally hit them in the head, like with one of these bullets. I hope one of them finally hits him in the head. Like, what the fuck?
The 5.7 is either the most broken gun in the game or absolutely dog shit. And there is no in between. It's either God's gift or you're sitting there wishing that you bought something else. Like, that's it. That's it. And sometimes you'll one-tap people from, you know, and you're like, oh, this gun's sick. Or you'll get like a 3K from like half wall on Banana Inferno. You're like, man, why don't I always use the 5.7? And then the next time you use it, you'll just whiff miserably and you just don't know why. It's the same thing with the Deagle. I think the Deagle is a noob trap. People think that you buy the Deagle and you're like, I'm going to hit some sick 1Ds. And then you get in situations where you're like, I should have just bought the 5.7 or the Tech 9. I think the Deagle is actually overbought. And it's not even close. I think way too many people use the Deagle. Let's be honest. You're not him, buddy. Stop buying that shit.
The
I
P250
actually
is way underrated.
I stopped buying the Deagle in matches because I know that I can't hit shots with it consistently enough. And I'm a good player relative to everybody else watching this, most likely. Okay, I wouldn't use the Deagle in 99% of important situations. I'm buying a 5.7 on CT side, and on T side, I'm buying either a Tech 9 or a P250. Genuinely,
P250 is underrated.
The P250 is insane. It always has been, though. But you know, that's what I think. I think people buy the Deagle way too much. I see a lot of bad players and good players buy the Deagle and get nothing done with it so consistently.
I'm gonna say, okay, what do you think is the best update in terms of game balance that CS ever put out?
Well, I didn't play for the first like 5 years that CSGO existed, so it would have to be since 2019. I will tell you, I know what you're thinking because of the conversation we just talked about.
Yeah, the Deagle 2-shot body shot to 3-shot.
That's one of them. That's up there, but I'll tell you what it actually is. It's the P250 not one tapping anymore. They changed that one right after I started watching CS, not playing. And I
it used to one tap.
It used to one tap like the 5.7. Yeah,
that was so dumb. Oh my god.
That's easily one of the best changes that they made so far. Like 100%. If it was still like that, ecos would be miserable, especially in this game. Headshot or hitboxes are like whatever percentage bigger. Yeah, you'd be getting clapped.
Op 5 bullets is a good one.
Another one that the Op 5 bullets is a good one. It was really controversial.
It's a small one.
It's small, but at the time people cried.
Oh yeah.
I think that the Deagle two-shot body shot was one of them for sure.
Well, there's other stuff that's like cheating. There's like the op nerf. The op nerf's pretty controversial, but I don't think it can. Hold on. Stop. Is a controversial statement. I don't think the op nerf can be stated to be controversial because people complain about it, but yet at the end of CSGO, Oppers were still dominating the fucking top 10. Oppers were 6 of the top 10 in 23? No.
I don't know.
I have this written down somewhere. They were like 4 or 5 of the top 10 or something. I don't know.
The op didn't become less relevant because of the change. It was still just as good.
Yeah. Which has to mean that it was overpowered, basically.
Oh, it was.
Well,
I mean,
no, I'm arguing I want to say I am arguing against myself to be fair because it was only really a very specific playstyle that was like insanely overpowered. Well, could utilize that by playing non-optimally, but they were so fast that it just abused that specific mechanic. Most oppers, literally every top opper other than Kenny S got better after the op nerf. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll tell you another update though that I think is actually a good change that we might forget about. When they lowered the price of the Galil and the FAMAS, that was a really good change. Because the Galil and the FAMAS used to be like, I think the Galil was like 2,300 and or maybe it was 2,200, something like that. And the FAMAS was like also up there, like 23 or 24.
Yeah.
And they just were not getting used ever. People would much rather use MP9. I mean, even now, people would still rather use the MP9 over the FAMAS, but back then it wasn't even a debate. So that's up there. That's
the chat is coming up with all these fucking insanely, like the SG nerf, the ump nerf, all this stuff.
Yeah, but those weren't good changes. That's just like
those
obvious.
Were necessary changes. Those weren't like small things where they adjusted, like they made an adjustment that nobody really asked for and was like, we don't know how this is gonna go, right? Like the economy change, I guess, is another one that could be up there.
The economy change, I remember before. That it was.
It's actually the best. That economy change has to be the best.
That economy change it literally gave life to the competitive scene because back then, like I remember, like if you wanted to have a comeback or if you were stringing rounds together at any point and you lost one time and you had no money left over, imagine going on the biggest win streak of all time and then the next round you lose, you're just like, and where you go? That's GG. We got no money, not even no money, like literally $1,400 for like, oh dude. Yeah. It was bad. It was really bad. The economy change has by far been one of the best changes ever. But I'm pretty sure even with that economy change, they didn't start with the pistol round first loss, did they?
I don't think so.
I don't think it was. I think that was added later, which is also up there with changes that were really good. Pistol starting as like a first loss was really good.
Yeah. Well, I think like if you go back to old CS, T-sided maps were fucking brutal because second rounds were you would win the eco a lot less because you could force a lot less because you were fucking starting on 1400, so you were fucked. So you couldn't force as much. So you would basically guaranteed lose round 2 and 3, which isn't like for a lot of CSGO wasn't the case. Then you go into the first gun round, you lose that one, you're fucked. You basically lost the game because you lose that one, you can win the next one, but then you're still fucked because it's a T-sided map and you're supposed to lose, and they've got 2 buys in the bank, and if you lose one of the next rounds, you're on 1400. You basically, if you went down 4-0 on Cobble when it was T-sided, you may as well just leave the fucking server. Like, why are you even playing at this point? It's over. It's fucking insane, dude. It was so bad.
That was back then. Back then when you could have a tactical round loss to reset their money. That was like that was real. Like if you lost, you're like, well, at least their money's fucked up. You know, like that was real. I remember seeing that casters would talk about that. Like, well, they lost a round, but their loss bonus got reset on the other side.
I mean, that's
Old
still
economy
true, though.
was real. Yes, but not as much.
I feel like that idea is what made saving so popular for so long, because you're playing Inferno, they jump out apartments, kill your pit player, plant the bomb, and it goes, well, we could go for this and maybe lose, or we could take away from their loss bonus, add to ours, still have a gun round, and then that means when we do lose the round actually and lose all our players, we still have a good buy. I feel like that,
that is fair.
Played in,
but it changed what it looked like is kind of where we're at.
Less ridiculous,
Yeah, saving every round is kind of boring for a viewer, but as a player, it's just necessary. You have no choice. You know what? Actually, I have another update that's really good that I actually like a lot.
You read in chat?
No.
Is it one that you read in chat, Austin?
No, is it in chat? No.
No,
I'm not gonna say it. Wait, no. The shotgun consistent spreads with the bullets.
Yeah.
Because genuinely, because before shotguns were pointless. Nobody used shotguns, but now you can actually have people that are really good with shotguns, like the Mag 7 or even like a auto shotty. Because I know everybody likes the auto shotty now. Like those are very consistent now, and it gave them purpose. They also made them cheaper. The shotguns got a big update. I remember they made them consistent spray pattern, and they got cheaper.
Yeah, and the $900. That was
yeah.
That was early.
Yeah, I don't remember that because they must have always been a thing. But $900, yeah, shotguns pay for themselves most of the time.
Well, yeah, SMGs also used to be 300 or something back in like whatever 2015. I was against that buff.
I wasn't even born back then. So that's
you weren't
wild.
Even born back then. Okay. All right.
So the major's coming up. What are we looking at for favorites coming into the major? I know you've been paying really close attention to the pro scene. So is there anybody that's standing out? Anybody that you're excited for? Maybe even just the RMRs teams to make the major that it might be their first time.
I feel like the favorites are just so obvious. Like it's like, why don't you pay more attention. Why don't you give me some of the teams that you think are
obviously the two favorites.
Less expected because you have the obvious favorites. FaZe and Vitality.
Yes, so FaZe and Vitality, obvious favorites. We got that out of the way. Coming from the NA qualifier, nobody. Nobody. I'm not even gonna lie. No? Not Liquid. I don't think that they're a favorite. I mean, they might be a favorite if the fans haven't been watching. They're not looking that convincing. At least the first showing of them has not been that great.
I think from the eye test, Austin, from the eye test, they look pretty good if you ignore the games where they look really bad, Austin.
Well, yeah, so let's just ignore most of the games then. Here's one. Teams that could do well, maybe not win. I'm looking at like an Apex. They did really good last major, and I would like to see them do good again. I'm a pretty big fan of the Apex team. There's also obviously Spirit, even though they have Donk. That'd be exciting to watch them play at a LAN, perhaps. Another potential favorite, somebody that can realistically win the major, is G2, of course. And if I was yeah, well, I mean, they're up there. And if I was being fair, I think Mouse is also pretty good.
Do you say Navi? You don't think Navi?
No.
You don't think Navi?
I don't. I wouldn't put them in the favorites to win. I would put them as a definite playoff team.
Above or below G2?
Below.
All right.
Or equal.
What do you think of Cloud9?
I have to look at the roster. Let's have a look.
You don't know Cloud9's fucking roster?
Well, they made some changes that I don't remember if they made any other. They didn't. Yeah, no. The Cloud. Shiro left.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cloud9. Who's opping on this roster? Is it Boomage?
It is actually Boomage. He's actually opping.
Dear God. Yeah, they might sneak into playoffs. They'll make the major though. I think that's what you're wondering. I think they'll make it. I think they'll do decent as well.
Start with CSGO if you want. I'm just thinking, couch this in was it overpowered in CSGO, and then compare it to that. What do you think's gonna? What do you think of the situation with the op? You think it's still just fine?
I'll say in CSGO, I felt like there's a lot of times if there was an opper and you tried to peek them, you would die almost 90% of the time.
Hold on,
easily
the gun
95%
made
of the
to
time.
kill people when holding an ankle would kill them. Okay.
Well, yeah,
that's a good thing.
I don't think it's overpowered.
Yeah.
It's very consistent. It was a very if it was there, you had to respect it, and I don't think that that's overpowered. That's what it's there for. But in CS2, I feel like it's a lot less like, oh no, the op's here, we need to leave. It's more like, it's fine. We'll just run at him. Because somewhere in between CSGO and CS2, the op feels a little bit different. I think it's a lot less consistent when it comes to like quick scoping and combat opping in general. Like when you're up close with the op, I feel like it's not as prevalent as it was in CSGO.
Do you think that's the op, or do you think that's people not getting used to sub-tick and the way the flicks work?
Whichever it may be. I'm not sure, but I can tell you that from my experience so far, the op does feel like it's been nerfed, but I don't know if it's been statistically nerfed or if it's just the game's engine, whether that be sub-tick or the movement actually being different, because it's a little bit different, a little bit more finicky. I'm not sure, but I can say the op does feel nerfed, and I think the pros saying that it does feel that way. Casuals obviously always sucked with the op, but it still does, they're still saying it. So yeah, I think that there's something to that. If you have something you want to say otherwise,
the op's underpowered at the moment.
Underpowered. I think it's just powered. I don't think it's overpowered. I don't think it's underpowered. It's just powered. Whatever you want to call that. I think it's just where it should be. I like the fact that I feel like ops aren't just like ops here, GG.
Yeah. So you like the fact that someone could spend $5,000 on a gun and you go, it's there, but no biggie. We can still kill it. It's not
necessarily no big deal. It's more like I feel like it's not all hope is lost kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, if I have to peek an opper in a pinch, I feel like I have a better chance than I did in CSGO for whatever reason that may be. Maybe it's the peeker's advantage. Maybe it could be anything. There's a lot of factors that kind of add up to be something bigger, peeker's advantage, sub-tick, the movement being a little bit different. It could all combine to make the op feel a lot worse than it actually is.
Yeah, well,
From what I can tell.
I just think okay, so this goes back to the beginning of CSGO, is that the op didn't feel that strong. You had rosters where you could play without an opper at the beginning of CSGO. I mean, NIP didn't have a true opper, but you couldn't do that later once things got figured out. Essentially, players got better and utility got better. And just managing gunfights, I feel like got a lot better. So you just didn't have such a big gap between certain riflers, which is why I feel like, I want to know if you would make the argument that Cloud9 has a chance at not having a true opper, if you think that CS2 allows that similar, either because of the new game or because of just how the op is working.
I do think that.
Games are a lot faster also, right?
You don't need to have a dedicated opera to be decent in tier 1. I don't think you never did. I mean, there was that run that Liquipd went on whenever they went on when they had Nitro opping, but Nitro wasn't an opper. I mean, at least he wasn't until then. I mean, he picked it up out of necessity. Yes, he was a full-time opper.
You also had like the fucking most talented rifle entry trio of all time.
Well, this Cloud9 roster is pretty talented too. So yes, it's comparable, and it definitely is possible. The op is not as insane as it was in CSGO.
Do you think a team without an opper is let's say, when we say sustainable, let's say for a year, is it sustainable for Cloud9 to win without a true opper if they don't try and turn Boomich into an opper? And I've only seen a couple games.
As long as they're still using the op when it's required and it's still somewhat like useful when they do buy it. Yeah, 100%. I mean, they're not going to win without an op if they never buy it. I mean, but if they use it when it's required, like on the maps that you need it, like Overpass or Nuke, then yeah, I'm sure they'll be fine. If they never use op on T side, then that's also probably fine. I don't see how it would be impossible for them to do good. They'll probably be good.
I mean, it's never been impossible, but realistically, I think if someone in CSGO said you're not going to win without a good opper, I feel like that's just a true statement. Like,
yeah, it definitely was. I mean, yeah, it 100% was. I agree.
All right, Austin, back to the topic at hand. Why isn't Swisher on Team Liquid, Austin?
Right. So I actually saw somebody talking about this the other day, and it's because the roles wouldn't make sense.
Okay, when I say Team Liquid, I just mean a good NA team, which typically only means Team Liquid.
Well,
I mean, like, why hasn't Swisher been in Tier 1 NA? Like,
I thought you meant Swisher instead of Skulls. That's what everybody was talking about.
No, I thought about that. Then I thought about the roles, and I was like, no.
Swisher could replace Yakinder. That was something that they were talking about the other day. Swisher could replace Yakinder because it would make sense role-wise on the team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't disagree.
You would replace Yakinder with Swisher.
I don't disagree with the idea that he could be on the team instead of Yakinder. I don't think I would make the change personally. That's why I'm saying role-wise for him to join the current Liquid, it doesn't make sense. But if there was ever an opening, then maybe. But yeah, I think Swisher not being on a team like Liquid is honestly a shame. He's definitely proven himself many times that he is capable of that. But
why hasn't he been picked up?
I don't know. There's not a definitive reason. I mean,
also, I'm not asking if you've been to their homes and talked to a liege and say to liege,
you want to know what it really is?
Why won't you pick up
You want to know what it is?
Tell me. I'm saying why you think it is. Yeah, it's because
NA has a problem. They keep recycling the same players over and over and over instead of picking up new players. That's why. This is the one thing that really pisses me off when we start talking about NA teams and picking up the same people. Why doesn't he go to NRG? Why doesn't he do this? Why doesn't he do that? I don't know. But maybe we should make another roster with Daps and Breeze. Maybe it'll go well this time. I don't know, man. I think NA is very notorious for using the same players over and over, just seeing if this works. Look at the ECL scene. You don't pay much attention to this. Just look how long Mo was
on a pro team.
we don't you don't look at the ECL scene in NA, but there's many teams that are consistently making new rosters with the same mix. There's like 15 people that just make a new roster every season with that same group of 15 people, and it's always the same. There's never anybody gets new in that group. So you have the same players that just keep remaking teams over and over and over. And when does somebody like that's coming up from advanced get moved in? They don't. They just don't. And it's the same kind of idea at like the tier 1 level. Very rarely does somebody get the luxury of getting pulled into the tier 1 circle to get recycled forever. It just doesn't happen. The last example I can think of that is either Fang or OC, and I guess maybe Grim. Those three have been pulled into that circle to where now, whenever any of them goes LFT, they'll have a spot for the rest of fucking time on either Team Liquid, Complexity, if EG comes back, NRG, who even fucking knows? So, yeah, that's why. Swisher hasn't gotten taken into that circle yet, so he's going to be out of it forever until maybe one day somebody is like, what about this guy? No, let's pick up Breeze. Fuck, dude! We can't ever get out of the circle, man.
It's funny because fucking Grim even got up there because he was like... he was dropping like 1.6 rating nonstop.
It was impossible to look away from how good Grim was in ECL. But you don't get players like that every day. You get good players that play their role, that don't stand out and play for the team, and that's what you want out of a player. But because they don't have insane stats, you're like,
Swisher's got some pretty insane stats, bro.
I know he does, but it's not good enough, dude. It's not good enough. I don't know what to tell you, man. I am not on the tier 1 team. Maybe Swisher is very, maybe they watched his demos and they're like, man, this guy plays like a bot. I don't know.
He buys the Deagle on Pistol Run. I don't think he does actually anymore.
He doesn't in Pugs. Yeah.
Dude, I've never seen someone. I hate people that buy Deagles and piss around. But when I was coaching his team, he would buy it, and he would always kill anyone that tried to cross mid on CT pistol on Inferno. You go T stairs, and they jump across, and you just headshot them. And I'm like, well, someone fucking crosses mid almost every round. If it's like a free kill, fucking go for it, I guess.
I mean, if he hits those, he hits those. I don't know what to say. But yeah, I mean, I know Swisher will definitely get a chance in the upcoming years. He'll definitely get his chance.
Rim
but the
played
fact that he
a way better role than Swisher, right?
Yeah, he did. He was
played
a star player.
role,
I think
Swisher
is more. Yeah, exactly. So that would probably be another thing that you would.
So he's got to be more selfish. He's got to be a star player.
Yeah.
So in other words, support players.
Let me tell you this:
are just bad star players, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hold on. We'll get to that in a second. But let me say, this is something that always happens. Okay, if you're making a team and you're in advance, let's just say, and there's this kid who's barely ever played, and he's playing in main. It's like his second season ever, and he's dropping 30 every game, 100 ADR. He's frying in main. And then you have this other guy who's in advanced, all right? And he just made advanced playoffs. He actually almost won advanced, and, you know, he had 60 ADR. But you know that he's competed in the environment more, so he's probably a better fit. Would you prefer to pick up somebody who's farming actively, stat-wise, or somebody who has been around a little bit more, but has a history of, you know, playing in better teams? Who would you prefer?
Okay, well, here's the problem. Because this is... Okay, I want to wrap this back to you saying Steel is the best NA IGL of all time. Because when you complain about the old boys club, and then you're like, Steel, the guy who hasn't played on a pro team since 2012.
Okay, historically, he still is the best IGL of all time.
But answer the question. I feel like that's the same mentality that ends up with recycling the old play. The same
sure,
player.
But
it goes back to the
solution?
Idea that the problem in NA is the opposite problem that you have in Denmark. And that's why Denmark always did so well, that you have players coming up through the lower levels that have real IGLs. They have real IGLs that teach them how things are and how they should be. And they have players that aren't little fucking ego cunts, okay, that like will listen and will be like play correct and try and be better when it's like, but Austin, I could just go swing out and shoot him in the head. Why would I ever do a strat? Okay, like they don't do shit like that. Okay, so then what the jump between tier 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is a lot smaller. It's like the problem with picking up players from lower levels in NA is that you don't know if the guy in main is actually shit, and it's gonna take like 6 months of like concerted effort to even get him to the level where he can play well at the next step. He might just be a fucking idiot that can out-aim people in main but can't out-aim people in advanced. You don't have a system, because every fucking IGL that retires in NA is like, oh, you know what? Make a lot of money streaming or Valoranting. Like, so you have no system. And IGLs, I feel like in NA, dude, IGLs are just like, someone's got to do it, go do it. Like, I feel like you don't have, like, mostly you don't have true IGLs, which is
that's very
how
true.
You ended up IGLing first.
That's exactly right. No, that's true. That's very true. So
you don't have the system. And so who would I pick up? I know who would get picked up, but I know because I'm a fucking coach. I would pick up the main player because I feel like I would do some research, which is probably something NA players don't do either.
No, they definitely don't do that. But this is what I'm saying, right? You're looking at it from the coach's perspective because I can fix him kind of mentality. I can make him a good player, right?
Like,
but the majority of people don't look at it like that. So you would rather pick up the main player because you can turn them into the player. They're, you know,
I would do some research.
If you
I
will.
I would question it for a second. But
okay, so but otherwise, most people would just pick up the advanced player because you think, well, they're more plug and play. I can throw them into my team. They're gonna know their roles decently well. We should have pretty good success right away, and that's pretty much it, right? which is kind of how I feel a lot of teams operate. They don't look down to pull up players that are up and coming to give them the next boost. And they would rather look laterally and be like, all right, this guy's at the same level as us. Maybe he's like the solution. You know what I mean? I think a lot of tier 1 teams are the same way, where they look down and they're like, well, maybe Swisher has a really good rating, but he's playing these noobs. Like, he's like, dude, like we might have to put a lot of work into this guy, but I could just pick up Breeze again and we're good. By the way, I have nothing against Breeze. I think he's really good, but he's the guy that keeps getting brought in these loops. Whereas like instead of, God forbid, thinking about somebody else, you would look, down and pick up the Grims, the OCs, the Fangs, like people that are consistently proving themselves that don't get the chances that often.
I feel like Grim kinda fucked everything up for everybody.
I mean, to be fair, if I was Grim and I was playing star rifle roles, like, getting all the flashes thrown for me, getting to bait my support player, my failed star player, and I was running out, and then all of a sudden you turn around and it's like, all right, now you're going to be throwing the flashes for, Twist and Elise. I don't even know who was on that roster at the time. You're just like, the fuck? I don't know what to do. I've never played this role before. And now you have to learn a role that you've never played in a team environment that's at a level you've never played against people you've never played. Now, instead of playing fucking Ponalone and Co. in their 5th roster of the season, you're playing fucking Rops, Karrigan, Rain, and you're like, all right, we might be a little out of our depths here. And you're doing a role you've never done before. That's not even fair. But then again, like, what else are you gonna do? Like, you're not gonna give the new guy the star roles. I mean, like, are you gonna take the Elysia's roles from him and give them to Grim? Like, all right, Elysia, it's your time to be a support player. You failed star play. No, you're not doing that either. So it's like it's hard to pick up a new player. Realistically, if you're looking down, you want to pick up somebody who's just kind of like, let's pick up somebody that fill the roles we need filled. That would be better. That's probably why Skulls got picked up to Liquid to begin with. Everybody, when they said Skulls to Liquid, everybody's like, what the fuck? Who is that guy? But then you have to just kind of be like, well, he does play the roles they need him to play. He's not bad at it either. So it's like, it kind of makes sense if you think about it in that regard.
Well, it's a step forward. Because NA, I feel like for like fucking ever, I feel like for as long as I've known NACS has been like, roles don't exist. We're just going to pick up whoever has the best stats and then put them in whatever role, which is fucking dumb. But now it feels like the compromise is we're going to pick up whoever plays that role that has the best stats, basically. It's not like who's the best.
Stats are so misleading, though. Like, just because, like, this guy plays all of the bitch spots and he's got 100 ADR, that doesn't necessarily mean he's good at his roles. It probably means he's picking up slack from people who aren't good at their roles, and he's just good at doing that. So who knows how he's going to be once he goes to the next level, because he's doing stuff that he's not going to have to do in his other teams. An 100 ADR player who plays bitch spots might just be a 60 ADR player in ECL team. Like, you don't know. It's really hard. Yeah. Like, picking up players just looking at stats is impossible. You have to look at their demos, but nobody does that. You have to figure out, like, if you're picking up a team, if you're picking up a player on your team, you need to, like, do the research. And I cannot tell you the last time that I've been on a team that's done research before they picked up a player.
Well,
genuinely.
I feel like advanced in like ECL levels, I feel like that picking up a player is usually like, guys, we need a player in the next fucking 2 days. Like,
that's also true. That is actually very true. I've been in that situation so many times. That's real. That is real. That's very true.
It's not like much time to do any research.
When I was on Detonate, and it's not any team drama that's going to leak, but we had a roster, and our opper just one day, and I quote, he said, guys, I love my life. I don't want to play anymore. Oh, that's pretty base. I swear to God, that's what he said. He said, I don't want to play anymore. And then it's like, well, you know what? Who was it? Yeah. It was Legend. I play with a guy named Legend. Yeah, you don't know him, right? So, because he randomly decided that he didn't want to play anymore, and he loved his life. We have a match in 2 days. Who the fuck are we going to pick up to op? So we're looking and looking and looking. Who do we pick up? We have no idea. Who's even looking for a team right now? We don't know. So then we ended up finding somebody. We stole them from another team. And now that team is in a situation where, like, fuck, we have a match in 2 days. Yeah. And it just keeps going. And it never stops. It's a cycle that never stops. And it's just so miserable. And it's like,
Yeah,
That's the
now,
NA
right?
cycle.
You got something now.
Well, I actually did research for the people that are on my team, and decided that I picked up a bunch of players that played their roles really well.
Aren't those all just people you already played with before? No.
Nope. Not
Cactus?
all of them. Well, I don't
Not
play with
all
Cactus
of them?
anymore.
Who's new? The Zeep guy?
Yeah, I've never played with Zeep. I've never played with Logan before. I play with Mason, but he's also really good at the role that I want him to play. And I play with Andrew, and he's a really good IGL and Alper, from what I remember. You have a pretty decent system.
What you remember? That sounds like he's not today. He's shit.
No, he is really good.
Okay,
but
yeah.
from what I remembered when I picked up the team, I started with him and Mason, and we kind of like worked around that with people. We did some research, like, yeah, these are good players to fit our system, and there you have it.
And
I think
Andrew
we've done
was
pretty well
willing
for
to take
ourselves.
a season in Maine.
He was, surprisingly.
That's crazy.
I couldn't believe it.
That's another NA player thing.
That's
it's like,
another thing.
I could join the best team I've ever been on in Maine or play with some shitters in advanced. I'm not taking a season off of my 12
of people.
seasons in advance.
Yep. Taking a season in Maine is a big ego hit, but at the same time, if you know you're good, who gives a fuck? I'm serious. If you
I know this happens so many fucking times.
Does it change anything if you play one season in Maine? What were you gonna do in advanced? Were you even gonna make playoffs? Let's be honest with ourselves, man. You'd be LFT at the end of the season anyway. Like, who cares, dude? So that's kind of how I feel.
Actually, I'm gonna ask this topic first, Austin.
Okay.
There's Own a Pixel fucking reactions of my videos that have like nearly as many views as my fucking videos. These guys are making a lot of money, and not only that, I saw one of the comments. Okay, the comment is literally, I was thinking about clicking on this video for like 5 days, but I'm gonna give you the click instead. Okay, this it's not owned by Own a Pixel. It's like a clone channel. There's like 100 of them, right? Should I be fucking like, if there's a channel that's doing consistently well, if it's all on different channels, it's like, there's nothing to say there. What are you doing here? Should I be asking these people for a 50-50 split? Because I feel like that's reasonable if I would like ask. Because
here's what I'll say.
Oh, let me finish one thing. I want to add one thing. I'm fine. Anyone can react to my shit on Twitch. I don't give a fuck. If you want to react to my shit on Twitch, feel free. It's when it's re-uploaded on YouTube that it's cannibalizing my views. That's the actual issue. If it's on Twitch or if it's on Kick or whatever the fuck, go for it.
There was a big debate about this when XQC was reacting to YouTube videos on his stream and then uploading them to YouTube. And the majority of the people were, complaining and saying that he's stealing views from these people. And the reality is, I don't think that that's true. Genuinely, I don't think that XQC was stealing any views from those people at all.
When he's on Twitch or when he's on YouTube?
On YouTube, genuinely. And let me tell you why, okay? Here's why. As a viewer of XQC, I would watch him watch videos that I would never in a million years watch just because he did. And on YouTube, I would watch like, oh, he watched this. Like, oh, that seems interesting. I would never watch that video myself. What I'm saying is that through him, I'm becoming more interested in a topic that I would never have normally been.
Let me ask you.
All right.
You can finish. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, because I'm thinking of somebody like Nexpo. Okay, you know Nexpo. He does like the documentaries on like scary things on YouTube or like that guy. I'd never watched Nexpo before, but one day I watched XQC's YouTube reacting to like 10 things that are scary on the internet, whatever. And after I watched him watch that, I was like, oh shit, this guy's got good content. And then I started watching Nexpo. Yeah. But what I'm saying is I think it's kind of like free advertising, genuinely, because I would have never watched Nexpo ever. But now he has a new viewer. And now he has a new viewer because of XQC. And even if XQC did make money, it's like an exchange. He basically paid, like Nexpo's giving XQC money to get more audience.
So this is another thing. This is another caveat, because if it was Own a Pixel uploading this would be a different question. This is not Own a Pixel. This is other people.
Owners reacted to my content.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's on YouTube. It might be. It probably is.
It probably is.
But I don't actually care. And that's what I think. I don't care. And if you're in the chat, don't start uploading my content because I say I don't care. But I don't care if people want to upload stuff that they react to of mine.
Let me ask you a question, Austin. Sorry, Phil. I keep thinking you're done.
As long as they ask me permission beforehand so that I know that it exists.
Okay.
That way I'm not just randomly surprised one day. And then I'm like, what the fuck?
What's your favorite streamer, Austin?
My favorite streamer? You know who my favorite streamer is.
XQC.
I just said it. XQC.
Okay. You have... Who's your favorite CS content creator, Austin?
Oh, fuck. I don't know. I don't watch CS content, believe it or
watch,
not. I'm going to say Flom. I'll say Flom.
Flom makes a tips video.
Yeah.
Let's say you want to learn CS. Let's say you're learning CS, okay? Flom makes a tips video. You can watch Flom's tips video, or you can watch XQC reacting to Flom's tips video. Don't fucking lie to me and say you're not clicking on XQC reacts to Flom's tips video.
I probably would watch XQC react to it.
Because it's better. It's just better. It's watch partying with basically with a friend or like...
Right.
And you're getting the same video, but you're having someone else react to it with you. And not only that, but like, I watched the video of Onapixel reacting. He pauses at some points. He adds a little bit. So it's more information from someone you like. Even if it's a creator you already like, you're clicking on the other shit.
Right. So I guess what you're saying is if it's a content creator that you already watch and then your favorite streamer reacts to it, then it might be stealing views because you would rather watch both of them at the same time than both of them, right? Yeah. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, well, I think you're right in terms of overall, like for general shit. If XQC reacts to my shit and uploads it, that's a W. That's a W. That's free that's free advertising.
But because
if Nade King reacts to my shit and uploads it, anyone that knows Nade King, there's a good chance they know me. What percent of his audience doesn't know I exist already? If they don't watch me, it's probably because they don't like my content that much. They've already seen it, you know?
You're saying, I actually see what you're saying. This is completely different to the XQC debate because they're in the same market as you with the same viewers as you.
Yeah, and I feel like I have a decent saturation in the market. If I'm like a
right.
I don't know someone to example. If I'm really small and someone much bigger, like if I react to someone really small, I would feel like I'm giving them advertising. But if someone big, who in the CS scene could react to War Owl and give him exposure in a real way?
Yeah, probably nobody. I understand what you're saying. So you don't think that Oni reacting to your videos and getting them uploaded is helping you at all? And in fact, it might be stealing from potential viewers.
I would say that it's I'm sure there is some advertising. I think him reacting on stream is definite advertising. But the video getting re-uploaded, I would say hurts as much or more than it helps. I mean, it's got like 350,000 views or something, this video. And my video has like 300,000 views. It's got more views than my video. Right. So it's like fucking $1,000 or something.
I have to wonder though, what percentage of those people would have never watched the video to begin with?
Yeah, that's the question. Yeah,
I mean, because like I said, in the Nexpo example, with XQC Nexpo, I would have never watched him. But now because I had seen that video and gave that view to the XQC channel, I ended up switching to just watch him. Yeah. But these people that watch your video, who knows, your next video might, 50,000 more views or like, a bigger gravitation of people coming to watch your content instead. Although I will tell you a secret though. I still watch the Nexpo videos and then I rewatch them and watch XQC watch them. I actually do that.
Those are very specific. It's kind of like Let Me Know videos where it's like, they're so intriguing and so like,
that you could watch them twice.
Yeah, you could watch it twice. I feel like you're not really watching a CS video twice.
Maybe though. Maybe.
I don't think my content is like rewatchable to that level that you're like, that was entertaining. Let me go watch someone react to that. Like, I don't think it's quite there.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough because it is free advertising, but
it's an interesting conversation. But I would be more worried about what you said because you said it's not even an OniPixel video. It's a clone. So what do you do about that? Because the person that made the account is probably not going to respond to you if you want that money or if you want to talk to them about splitting the money.
No, they have to keep a channel. So I'm probably not going to do this, but they have to keep a channel because they have to have enough views and subscribers to get monetized. And so if they're uploading my videos on their channel, I can just DMCA the video and they're going to get a strike and they're not going to like that. And I could do that to all of the video. I could stop them from uploading if they didn't split it, which there's no reason not to, essentially, because you either get to upload a chance at getting views or you don't get to upload a chance at getting views. There's no real reason to just not,
Right.
I mean, that's the thing. DMCAing is a bit aggressive. But I probably wouldn't do that. I mean, I'm just like, is it reasonable to ask for half? Like, Forzen reacted to a video of mine actually, and it got a few 100,000 views. I'm like, that's another one where it's like, that's not non-endemic. Like, first of all, I don't want to like, it's just not worth the time. But also, it's non-endemic. It's people that wouldn't watch my. It's people that are unlikely to have seen my content.
And that's
before.
actually advertising now.
Yeah, that's very different. Than like, especially because it's not Own a Pixel's channel, so it's not people that are necessarily like big Own a Pixel fans. I guess it's like, it's probably recommending that video to a lot of people that it would otherwise recommend my video to, because it's just the same shit. But
so you're thinking that it's like just eating your viewers then, like cannibalistic,
like
or
a decent amount. I'd say like, yeah, a decent amount.
But do you think your video would have 700,000 views instead?
No. I mean, when I say a decent amount, I mean like 30, 50,000, something like that. You know, like
that's because that was the number I was thinking too.
Yeah,
right, like off the top of my head.
So,
which means, do those 30 to 50,000 views, is it worth the other 300,000 views that the other video got?
I would
as
say
advertising.
People that are gonna watch my content from that video, I would be surprised if it was 5,000. That would be surprising to me.
Yeah, but it could still be worth it potentially.
It would be worth it
in the long run.
Okay, so there's this creator called Wings of Redemption. Okay, this complete tangent. He has a lot of haters that upload shit talk of him because he's the guy that he breaks his controller. He like fucking rages at his chat. He's always yelling. He's like crying and all this shit. He's like, if you want to waste a few hours, look up Wings of Redemption. I used to watch him when I was like 13, and he made less ragey content. From my understanding, all of these channels that make videos essentially trashing on him, he has a revenue split with them. So he's making money off the haters. And that does generate income because, for example, an Only Pixel video, like a reaction video, might get more. It'll get more views than mine would on its own. Maybe some people do rewatch, and a lot of people, some people that wouldn't watch it will watch it. Some people will go to the. If you have a revenue split, that's win-win. That's win-win. But
right.
You know,
but do you think that this random Only Pixel channel clone would actually do that with you? Because it's probably just some random person.
That's why, like, this would only be something if I saw the same channel get 2 or 3 videos that like got a lot of like several 100,000 views. Then I'd be like, listen, dude, you've got like three videos of mine with a lot of views. We're gonna have to like come up with some. I don't even. It doesn't even need to be 50-50. I would just be happy to like basically. I don't. This is. It's like to basically see some like respect, I guess. Like, I guess that's the same thing as like asking. It's like, you know, acknowledging that like you are not really helping me and you're gonna make a bunch of money off me. Yeah.
I definitely understand. I guess if I think about it from my perspective, if somebody was uploading my videos like that, it would definitely be kind of odd. Like, because my videos on YouTube don't get that many views as compared to yours. So like I get like a 20,000 view video, and then if I turn around and see that channel with 300,000, I'm like, they wouldn't have watched my video anyway, though, so it's different. I don't know.
Well, if they do it once, I feel like you can write it off. But if the same channel does it like 3 or 4 times, I bet you'd be feeling some kind of way about that.
It's true, actually, because then it's like, well, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know, man. That's an interesting situation. It's very unique as well. There's not a lot of people that have that.
Yeah, it's different
situation.
than the XQC thing, I think, because
it definitely is. Well, I mean, for the XQC thing again, I mean, I play with XQC. And when I play with XQC, he uploaded the games, not from my perspective, but he uploaded the games to his channel, and he was obviously with me on stream. So I got a direct influx of people who have never even watched me or even really CS that came to me because of him, just from me being there. So I do know for a fact that being around the bigger creators in any regard is beneficial.
Yeah.
Even if you do have to take a hit sometimes. Like, if XQC would have reacted to a video, if his chat was like, oh, you guys don't know this guy, he teaches CS, and he watches one of my videos, and it gets uploaded to the channel. Even though he might get, like, you know, 100, 200,000 views on that video, I still think it's worth it, even if... Let's pretend it's Oni, though. Let's pretend it's Oni. It's still worth it, I think.
Here's another one, though. Because one of the downsides of actually having those videos exist is that people that think they're good Samaritans are going to go to your video and thumbs it up, and they're gonna leave, which is,
and it hurts you.
The worst possible thing you can do to anyone's video is go to the video and leave. That is the worst thing you can do. And that is actually one of the main things I was thinking. I was like, if people like this video, they're going to come to my channel, they're going to like the video, and they're going to leave. And then you know what? That's going to send potential viewers that would click on my video to this other video, because that doesn't have people clicking on it and immediately leaving.
That's true. It definitely could hurt your YouTube stats. The people clicking and leaving, the average view time. Yeah.
But I think
that would suck.
I remember the XQC argument, and I think it's kind of ridiculous that I don't know. Anyone can have their own opinion, but I think it's kind of ridiculous to have a big problem with someone reacting to your stuff on Twitch. It's a different platform. That is all discoverability. People that are on Twitch, they probably do go on YouTube, but like if you're a Twitch loyal, if you're a Twitcher,
I know what you
you're
mean.
probably going on YouTube to watch the shit that you like. You know, like I feel like there's a subset of people that go on YouTube and discover new shit on YouTube, and a subset of people that go on Twitch and discover new shit on Twitch, but they both cross-pollinate a little bit, but they just go to the shit that they like on the other platform. So if you're on Twitch, you might find a new YouTuber that you like that you'll go to, but that you wouldn't find otherwise. I think that's like just positive overall. It's always been a little bit odd, especially when it's somewhat like the same niche to like re-upload it to YouTube. But yeah, anyways, we've been on it. I don't know if this is relatable.
That's a good topic, I think. It was pretty controversial at the time when it happened in XQC, so I think people would like this one. Maybe you can make a tweet longer about it.
I think also people like uploading clips with you in it is like standard. It's just to some extent you have to think about what's reasonable. Like what's reasonable? Is XQC gonna play a game with you and upload it and cut all your shit out? Like what's reasonable, right? Like even if it's not advertising, what is reasonable? There's like a level of reasonability. For example, like all YouTubers in the CS, they're taking tips from other fucking YouTubers, okay? Nate King's taking tips from me. I'm taking tips from Nate King. I'm taking tips from whatever Anomaly or fucking some Nart or whatever.
And me.
And Austin. I try to give credit when there's a tip that I wouldn't have otherwise found. So if there's like a really simple tip and it's like I already knew that, there's no reason to give credit. But if there's like if there's a good tip that I think is unique and wouldn't otherwise realistically be something that I would have found, then I'm giving credit 100% of the time. But then there's another thing where it's like the question of how many tips can you take from someone before it is a problem? Like if you take 80% of your 80% of your video is someone else's tips, have you done something wrong there?
Yes, but it's very it depends on a lot of things. I'm not gonna lie, but let's say you made a video and 80% of the tips were my tips. Just hypothetically speaking, of course. Obviously, I don't have a problem because you probably already knew all that stuff anyway. But if it was time to make another video and you were like, and you went scrolling through my channel or Nart's channel or whoever's channel that makes tip content, and you're like, all right, I have a new video all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And then the next time you want to make another, then I think it's like, all right, you're not even making content. You're stealing everybody else's content, making it your own.
Yeah, I do
then
have
it might be a
video
problem.
that is heavily stolen from Austin's channel. And I actually have always kind of felt bad for that because I took a lot of your tips.
You did.
I do justify it in my mind because I was going through some shit and I absolutely had to get a sponsor obligation out and make a video, and that was the only way I could think of making a video. I wouldn't have done it. That's the problem. I feel like I'm like, you mistreat your friends because you're friends.
Yeah, you wouldn't
right? Like,
have done it to anybody else.
I wouldn't have done that to Nate King. I wouldn't have done that to
Well, here's the other thing, though. Forget about how you feel about it. You did ask me, and I said it's chill. Like I wasn't like, it's whatever.
That's like a societal. You know,
no,
that's like I'm making an ad for a friend of mine that owns a pet food company, and I sent it to him, and it's like if he hates this, he's not gonna say "fuck off." I hate this. You know, it's like
that's true.
Kinda, you know?
But you asked me, you said, and I used some of your tips in a video, and I'm pretty sure all I said was, yeah, it's fine as long as you like say you got the tips from me.
Yeah.
And I think you did.
Yeah.
So I don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. It's the same as the gambling stuff. I still kind of
I like to joke about that video, but I don't care. Like I'm not actually like shaking my fist in the air. Damn you, Voo! Why the fuck did you? No, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me because you asked me, and obviously you're my friend, so it's different. But I don't know. I'll tell you this. Here's to go on what we were talking about a little more. I've made tips videos for a long time now, over like a year. I'm old. Over like a year. Sometimes when I would be like thinking of tips, I would historically I would be like, okay, I know from here there's a lineup and I cannot remember for the life of me what the lineup is. This was a CSGO problem. So I would go and reference other people's videos to try to find the lineup, but I knew it, but I got it from them.
Yeah.
I don't think that matters because it's like going through a demo. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, 100%.
Like your cat's joining us now for the episode.
Dude, he's so fucking weird, man. Like, he if I go lie down on the couch, I think he's mad at me. So I go lie down on the couch. He used to like jump on me all the time, but like now he just comes in my room and he's like, fucking let me on you now or we're not doing anything for the rest. And then I feel like I don't want to like neglect him, so I want to hang out with him, you know, but he only does it at the most inopportune times, fucking physically possible. Yeah, I feel like
anyway, hold on, wait, before you get going, I will say I know that there's been times where I'm watching like tips videos from like Nart, or I don't even know who else does tips videos these days. There's a lot of people that do it, and it just shows up, and I'll be like, oh, that's actually really insane, and they don't have a lot of views on their video, so I'm like, well, don't mind if I do. No, I'm just kidding. So I take the video and that. I would remake it with my own. I would turn, and I've done this a handful of times. I turn monetization off and I say exactly where I learned it from at the end. Say, this is who I learned it from. Go look at their content. I don't think there's ever been a time when I've directly stolen a tip from somebody and just never, like, I never said that it wasn't mine.
Yeah, see, that's like
genuinely, I don't think I have.
I know that's the important thing, in that if it's a tip that you otherwise wouldn't like, you know what I'm talking about. There's shit that it's like, oh yeah, I saw it on this guy's channel, but it's like, this is some shit. Like, this is like,
I know this.
You know, like, I just know all this did was like maybe it made me realize in my mind that I have a lineup for this or something. Like, maybe it like prompted something. But yeah, there's a line.
There's examples. I remember one time I saw Nart made a video on roof utility on Nuke, like a Molly top hut, Molly back sight. And then I was like, oh, I haven't made a video about that. And then I was like, I have my own lineups for this. And I just did it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't think that matters. It's like you get reminded of things that you forgot.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I forgot I knew that, so I should make a video on it or include that somewhere.
Yeah, there's egregious examples.
You want to know, there's somebody, I'll name names, all right?
Yeah.
There's somebody that steals my content almost word for word and uploads them to all forms, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a person, all right.
You want to name? You gonna name names?
Oh, wait, everybody knows
are they the
who
people
it is.
that are they stealing your content and like putting their own voiceover? Or are they like uploading it
yes.
to other? Okay.
They're basically taking like, it's like almost, it's like scary how it happens, where I'll like make a video and then within the day their channel will make a video remaking the same video. Yes.
Because I only ask because I guarantee you're gonna find channels that are doing your shit in another. What do you think about that actually? Because there's a channel that was uploading all my shit in Polish.
And it's not mine.
Like, it was like
they weren't gonna watch me. They don't even know who I am.
Well, they
don't even speak my language.
Yeah, that's how I felt basically. It was like, hold on, I made 4 levels of Dust 2, and the next 2 days later you made 4 levels of Dust 2 in Polish, and it's not my clips. But it's like, if this wasn't in English, I feel like I'd feel a little weird about, like, that's like an unreasonable amount of like inspiration to, you know.
So, you know, that's a good idea. Maybe I should start looking in other languages and just start getting new ideas. You know, maybe that's the move.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the move, actually. I mean, I don't care if people do it to me, so surely nobody cares if I do it to them, right?
I feel a little bit odd that there was a channel I remember that would just literally, like, if I made a video, it would be like 2 days later they made the same video. I assume the same concepts, but they did their own in-game recordings. It wasn't exactly this, but it was the same, I assume.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a little
I guess there's levels. There is levels.
But
maybe what we should just do is we should just start making our videos in every language.
Well, here's the thing. So I put out this myths video. So there's a lot of shit in this myths video I spent way too much time working on, and I already know that in the next, I would give it 2 or 3 months before there's some videos that take those tips that I know I made up and that nobody else would, very unlikely to find in the short term. That's just going to be on someone else's channel, and I'm not going to get any credit. And I've seen this happen so many times. It's just, it just feels, I don't know. It's not something like I want to call someone out for, but it's something I'll complain to Austin about behind the scenes. And it's something that I feel like it just feels like I'm going to put a day into doing this research on something and like really fleshing something out. And then I'm like, I'm just doing research for this other guy. That's all I'm doing. I'm just doing research for someone else.
Somebody stumbles along and they're like, you know what? That's good shit.
Yeah, in 2 minutes, they fucking, it's frustrating, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you could do that to other people.
I try not to. Any good and I also, just to say, I feel like it's good to put their name on screen as you are showing it also, because if you put it at the end, it's kind of like people click off before the end.
Well, you know what? Just the other day, I used a clip from Darth Mike's stream in my video, the Liquipd versus M80 game, because there was a highlight in one of the matches, and I didn't have the Twitch version of it, like the clip. But Darth Mike had casted it, and he had his face cam on. So I used the clip of him casting the match, but I put his ad on the screen while he was reacting. But I also kind of felt bad because I was like, well, I didn't ask him if I could.
Well, he's a Twitch
But at the
streamer.
same time,
I feel like that's cross-platform.
right?
I feel like it would be very surprising if he was not fine with that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure, but I didn't ask, right?
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things that you just do. I would never have just been like, who the fuck is that guy? Put it at the end of the video. Oh, by the way, that clip at the beginning of the video, you already forgot about? Yeah, that was Darth Mike. Nah.
Yeah, I feel like it is one of those things where, like, if it's another content creator, I feel like knows the rules, But if it's someone that's like kind of not a content creator, like Darth Mike is just, he's like a caster. I think he makes a little bit of content, but it's like, those are the people you should
streaming.
It's better to ask.
Like if I took some shit from you, then obviously it's going on screen. I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
typical.
Says him. Anyway, let me ask you this though, on the topic of content stealing. There's a site that steals a lot of stuff that I upload, but they do credit me. But they do use my stuff quite a bit. The Score Esports. Now, I have no beef with them at all, but I'll be scrolling, and sometimes they'll be like, there's this new broken mechanic in the game, or there's this new thing that you can do. And I'll be like, oh, what is it? And then I'll be like, that's just my clip with my face on it. It's my clip, my actual Twitch clip. And then it's like, credit to Austin CS. It's like, bitch, there's an underscore at the end, and you didn't even put it, first of all. Second of all, it's like...
No, they're scummy about it, because they hide it.
They really do. Yeah, they do. They hide your stuff, and they just try to make it like it was their content. There was a clip that I had that did pretty good of me fake flashing somebody. I don't know if you saw the clip. It was on Overpass. And they just took the clip and uploaded it and said, you can fake flash people in CS2. It's like, that's my clip. You just took my clip and made it something that was yours. And that's different. That's short form content. That's not long form content. I know for a fact that people watching that video are not coming to my content. There's almost no chance.
They're putting
at
their
all.
own voiceover over it and then using like your gameplay. But
with my face cam on it.
Yeah.
To show my reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like they'll show me laughing, but they won't. Yeah. Yeah.
They do like a double when they do a long form video, they do like a double click through. It's really scummy. They're like, click here to see all the people that we took clips from for this video. And then you have to go, so click through that and then click through to the other person's channel. You're losing more than half of the people on the initial click through. Like, it's intentionally made so nobody clicks off their fucking shit. It really seems like intentionally scummy, not like an accident.
Yeah. Genuinely, it's I hate it every time I see it. That's one of those where I am actually shaking my fist like, God damn them, why would they do that? But I'm not. I don't want it to get taken down, but I'm just like, I wish they would just ask me. Like, that's one of those things where I want the respect. That I know exactly what you mean. Like, if it's okay if you want to use it, I'm not going to tell them no if they ask. But they don't.
They did ask. They've asked me a few times, actually. The first time they didn't ask me.
Must be nice.
The first time they
must
didn't
be
ask
nice.
me. The second
must
time
be
they
fucking
did.
nice.
It must just be their editors.
I will get notification. My friends will message me and they'll be like, "Oh, did you saw you're in this video?" I was like, "No," and then they'll link it, and it's got like literally 300K views, and I'm just like, "Where the fuck? What the?" And it's like not even like I'm just like, briefly mentioned. I'll be like the topic. I'll be like, I know there was a video that they showed Inferno lineups, and they literally said, "Here's how you smoke CT." And then it was like, "Oh, here's the CT smoke that I made." And then credit to Austin CS. Anyway, this is the CT smoke. Wait, what did he say? Run it back. I rewind it, and he literally went, "Credit to Austin CS." You said it fast on purpose. What the fuck? Like, I don't understand.
At the end of the fucking
dude, it's like what? You're literally trying to hide me. You're trying to just say that you found it, bro. Like I don't understand. But yeah, I don't know. People are definitely taking a lot of my content, and it's just natural when you're streaming and you have YouTube videos, and I don't actively seek out people stealing my content. So I mean,
especially if you make short forms,
it's hard to keep up. It's hard to keep up. I know there's I could yap about this for a long time. I know there was my most popular video on YouTube, the one that has like 2 million views of me knifing the guy on Banana. I'm sure most people have seen that one. That was like the clip that started my shorts channel. That video is re-uploaded so many places. I cannot even keep track. It was in YouTube videos, montages. It was like one of the clips of the year videos back then. It got uploaded in different languages. It got uploaded on TikTok on 50 different accounts, Instagram. That video might, I'm not even trolling, have 15+ million views across every platform. And nobody knows who I am. What do I do against? It's short. It's a short. It's a funny moment. Everybody sees these funny moments. Like the first thing that I think of is like proximity chat, PUBG moments. Everybody's seen clips, but do you know who the fuck was in those videos? Hell no. You don't know because they're shorts.
You're nobody the best.
No, but they don't know me. My point isn't that. My point is that because they're stealing shorts, there's no there's only benefit for the people uploading it and not for the people that are in it.
Yeah, no, it's fucked. Why don't you use overlay
like watermarks or overlays?
Well, it's been a long time since I streamed, but I have an overlay that's just around the webcam that just says like Voo CSGO and like better than
maybe I need to do that.
Yeah, I feel like that would be, if you are concerned about people taking your content, that would be an easy
it's just because it would only be something that I would want to do on like my short form content, not for stream.
Well, you can make it
for my YouTube stuff
unobnoxious, I feel like. Hold on,
I could just put up a sign on this wall right here. It says Austin CS neon streamer lights. Get the fucking RGB on it.
Flom has or something.
I have no idea. I just know that that's what everybody wants me to get because they think that streamers have to have cool lights in their room.
Yeah, then half your face is gonna look fucking red.
I know, dude.
Whatever. Hold on, mine's huge. I'll show you what this looks like though. Mine's huge in this.
I know. Well,
you I
remember.
It a while ago. Okay,
oh, I've seen it. Yeah.
It's.
I used to look at it a lot when you streamed, but you don't anymore.
In your chat. Hold on.
Let's see. Hold up.
It could be smaller than that, but like I feel like that you could have that on. It's like it's not really obnoxious, you know.
Look, I'm in the clip.
Yeah,
and so is Brayden. Yeah,
it's a B-dub clip.
Oh, icky.
Back when B-dub.
Yeah, I just don't like.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I don't like it because I just feel like it takes up a lot of space. But I don't know. It's not bad, and maybe it's a necessity though. You know, maybe it's just like one of those things.
Yeah, it might be a good idea. I don't know. You do all the influencer shit. You're a real influencer, Austin.
Am I a real influencer?
I feel like you are. You posted almost 20 selfies.
20 selfies makes me an influencer. That's crazy. Yeah, probably. I mean, look, I've been thinking.
I've been an influencer for longer.
I have been thinking for a while that I do need to post some more selfies to Instagram because, look, the last time I posted a selfie, that shit got memed so hard, and it was great.
The Shutter Shades?
That one or the Always Boss Up one. Have you seen that one?
No, I don't.
I have 2 memes about me. I have that one that I posted.
Shutter Shades is a good one.
Yeah, hold on. Let me find it. I can link both of them in my chat. There's this one. Hold up. There's this one. This one right here. This is one of my favorites. Yep. And then there's another one, the Always Boss Up one. This one is like an edit that somebody added. No idea who. It just showed up. It just showed up on my timeline one day. This is actually the reason why I want to post more selfies, because I actually like having memes. I like having memes of myself. I think they're really funny. So I've been thinking I need to give Twitter more meme material.
Yeah.
Because I like the memes of myself.
Yeah, they're good.
But yeah, they are good. They actually are pretty funny.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm thinking, but I don't know if that's like influencer brain. I don't even care about like, I don't want to get like a bunch of likes on my post. I just want.
No, I think that's normal. Yeah.
Yeah. I need you to post another picture in your Gucci fur coat, and we can meme that one.
No, it's gone. It wasn't Gucci though. I don't know what it was. It's Gonzo.
I don't know. I just always say Gucci.
Yeah, it's Gonzo. It was just too. I just took work.
You got rid of it.
And I gave it. Well, because my uncle's like, my uncle was like, I can have it if I want it, and it was like, not. I'm like, no, I don't really. I don't think I really need this. All right, Austin, you said you had a few topics that you didn't want to tell me before the podcast. Have we gone over several of them?
No, just the one.
Do you want to go over several of them, or do you want to save them? For
yeah,
the next
we can rapid fire some of these. Okay.
All right.
Let's try not to yap too much on tangents with these. You're gonna make a dream team for CS.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Karrigan.
Who are you picking up?
Karrigan.
Not including.
Karrigan.
Hold on.
Karrigan.
Not including. Wait.
Karrigan.
Not including Karrigan.
What the fuck?
Nico. No. Listen, this is actually No, listen. This fucking guy. I literally planned this out beforehand because I knew what team he was gonna make. This is not fair. This is not fair. All right, listen, chat. I'll tell you what it is. I'm gonna ask him if he can make a dream team, not including Karrigan, Zywoo, Simple, or Nico. Is that fair? Is that fair? I think that's a decent thing that you can do. I want to hear his team without those 4 people. That's a good one. I'll tell you the other one that I want to do. I already hit him with the one earlier. It was like, if you could only use 3 guns for the rest of your career, which ones would you pick? Yeah, that's a banger death effect. I already asked him, but he picked weird. There's another one I want to do. I can't remember what it is. Oh, yeah. Okay. This one. If you right now, I told you, this one's for chat. If you could only play 3 maps for the rest of the time, what would they be?
Sorry?
So if you were going to make a dream team and you cannot pick Karrigan, Simple, Zywoo, or Nico, what's your dream team looking like?
You're not adding. You know how disrespectful it is that you didn't put Device on that list, dude?
No, that's not. No. We're talking about undisputed GOATs in their roles.
Okay.
I picked those 4 players.
Austin said not to yap, but I cannot help myself from yapping.
Yes,
okay?
Device is a GOAT, but I didn't include him because
Device is unfair. Device is unfair, bro. Because if Simple and Zywoo didn't exist, breaking the game, Device would be. He's so far ahead of literally everyone else. It's not even close. Who other than Device and Simple is even close to Device?
All right.
Than Zywoo and Simple.
All right. Nobody. Fine. Let's remove Device then, because you're gonna pick him. If you can't use those 5 players to make your dream team, what are you going to pick?
Okay, so what are we talking about? Are we talking about
all roles filled? You need 5 anybody that you ever could want, and your goal is to win a major.
No, but what is their skill? Like, as in when?
Always prime. You're picking up the prime version of them.
But if I was to pick Kenny S, am I picking Kenny S? But we also have before the op nerf, or like?
Just their prime, whatever that might be, whatever version of the game. So again, let me ask the question for the short form. Okay, so you can make a dream team. I need you to pick 5 players for your team, not including Zywoo, Simple, Karrigan, Device, or Nico. And every player that you pick is in their prime. Who are you picking?
We're gonna have to cut this down.
Of course, there's a lot of options.
Because when you're talking about prime, are you talking about how good they were, or are we talking about how good they were relative to their opposition? For example, if 2023 Rops was in 2013, he would be number 0, right? He would just dumpster
That's
everybody.
True, but we're talking about bringing that prime version of them against today's field.
So basically, if we say Get Right was number 1 in 2013, and he was, let's say he was like 5 times better than number 2. Right? Then you bring him into like 2023, and it's like, it's not like it is him at that skill level in 2023, which is still going to be way worse than everybody else. It's
right.
like
I think
right?
I think you're looking at this too analytically. Let's not worry about who they're playing against. Let's just say on paper, what's the best team?
So we're gonna ignore basically, CS has got so much better since 2013. We're gonna ignore that, and we're just gonna
let's just ignore that for simplicity's sake.
Okay. Get right.
Okay.
Get right. Coldzera.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pick the Opera last. This is
okay. Still need an IGL.
This is crazy. I'm picking the Opera last. I think the team matters because Modesty is a good pick, but only for certain teams. I think.
Right. So Cold and Get Right. Still need an IGL.
I don't think James. If I want to win a major, it ain't James.
Well, he did win a major already.
It's just better to if you can choose any if you're handcuffed. James is a great pick because he's an Opera and an IGL. But if you want, if you can pick up an amazing Opera and an amazing IGL, fuck that. I don't want James. Okay. So
all right.
Get right, Coldzera, Dupree. Oh fuck, that's the secret sauce.
Okay,
Dupree.
I like the Dupree pick. Woo! Now we need an IGL and an op. I like the Dupree pick. That's a good choice.
Dupree. Oh my god, his peak was so underrated, bro.
Yeah, no, it was good.
Banging some really good heads, man. Oh boy. All right, we need an Opera and an IGL. IGL.
A lot of good IGLs that aren't Karrigan. There's a lot. A lot of people would probably think Glaive. I don't think so.
It's got to be Glaive. No, it's got to be Glaive.
You think so?
Yeah. And
with Dupree, is that what you're thinking?
Not with Coldzera and Get Right. Because I feel
not
like
a bad roster.
I feel like Coldzera and Get Right are so like fundamentally sound that Glaive, even though they're not Danish, Glaive will be able to lead them fine. And if you just add in Glaive's fragging, which was fucking crazy and easily the highest peak of any IGL, it's like, does his calling even need to be good? It doesn't even need to be good. Just fucking shoot him in the head. Okay, and then the Opera, I was thinking Monacy, but if I've got Glaive on the team, I think I want someone that's a little more consistent and whiffs like a lot less. If Shiro hadn't left Cloud9 for who the fuck knows why, that's the most obvious choice, I think. Fallen, I don't really love his style, but it's got to be Fallen, I think. Or Guardian. I'm biased towards Guardian, but I'll pick Fallen. I know my bias towards Guardian.
Right. So there you go. That's the roster. So we have Get Right, Coldzera, Guardian, or sorry, not Guardian. Fucking whoever you said, Fallen.
Get Right, Coldzera, Dupree, Glaive, Fallen, and
that's not a bad roster. That is not a bad roster. It took us some time to get there, but we got there. Now, in case you're wondering, here's my dream roster. Okay, you ready? If I had to pick, genuinely, I'm picking Rain. Obviously, we already know I'm a big Rain fan. I have a Rain bias. No. Seriously. This is a major winning team. Hear me out. I'm picking Rain. I'm gonna pick my Opera is Guardian. I was thinking Guardian's a good Opera to pick. Then after that, we need a lurker. We need somebody who's gonna be very like I want to say sound. Yeah, sure. Unironically, I'm gonna pick Rops, but this is where we deviate from the phase members of past or present. So we have Rain, Rops, and Guardian. Then I would like to pick Snappy as my IGL. I think he's got a very good style for a team like this. And then for my last player, it's hard, but you need somebody who's going to get the job done, somebody who's consistently doing their role. It's going to be hard to not pick somebody that's like... I'm kind of torn between a lot of players that I enjoy watching, but I am going to pick JL, genuinely, to put him in the last spot of the roster. Because I'm thinking of prime players... I think a lot of players have hit peaks that are already higher than anybody in years past. Like even an average player from today is probably better than most peak players at 2015, 14. Genuinely.
Austin, I asked you this question, and you said not to worry about it.
But I said peak. Yes, I did. I know, but I said peak players. I mean, like skill wise, you're gonna just have better players in like the modern era, in my opinion.
I asked you this, and you made it seem like this wasn't the way you were doing it.
But I still pick Guardian.
Austin fucking made me think that this is not how he was doing things. That it wasn't like, 2023 is way better.
No, I don't. Of course it's better, but you were worried about the players competing in the modern level.
Yeah, well, Get Right 2013 is never going to go into 2023. Even if
I think it's a good pick.
Gonna have a fucking time machine, Austin. 2013 Get Right gets fucking shit on by the 30th best player. In
yeah, but
no,
I said don't worry about who they're playing against. I'm not worried about who they're playing against. I still think, relative to everything else, the people that are playing good CS right now are playing the best CS ever. I think
we misunderstood each other, because that's
okay,
what I was trying to get to each other.
Well, either way, I still I like my roster. I picked Rain and Guardian.
How can you pick Guardian though?
I picked Rain and Guardian.
I feel like your logic is not holding up.
What do you mean? I picked Snappy to IGL. That guy's old.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Because if you're picking Rain and Guardian, you're picking 2017 Rain and you're picking 2015 Guardian. Surely Sunpay
they can compete.
Fucking
no,
Brokey,
I think that Prime Guardian competes against every opera today. Genuinely. I think Prime Rain also competes against everybody today.
Guardian 2015, if you brought him in, he would not be able to deal. If you're just bringing him in for the major, he's not going to learn how to deal with the utility usage before the finals.
I don't know, man. Maybe it's too dank of a question. Maybe there's too many things to look at.
I feel like, yeah, you could do it like the way you're doing it though. I feel like you have to pick all the new players. I feel like it's just because the players have just got better. They've just gotten better. Like over time, they've just gotten so much better.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was the dream roster question. It went terribly wrong. It's all good. Honestly, I kind of figured it would be a little bit better.
I feel like Flush is really slept on. I feel like
Flusha. Which one? The cheater version or the other one?
Flusha never cheated, Austin.
All right. So let's pick a different one. This is actually one that I asked you before. I said I didn't want to use, but I lied to you. If you could only play for the rest of time 3 Counter-Strike maps, as in anytime that you ever load up the game, you are limited to only play 3 maps for the rest of your career. What are they? All right. Anybody else that's above level face it level 10 would probably not agree with you. All the casuals, you just won them over.
No, that's exactly why. Because those are the only maps that anyone fucking clicks on when it comes to videos. So if you're choosing anything other than Dusty Mirage and Inferno, Austin, then you're just skimping yourself. You're getting no views. Imagine you choose Nuke, Overpass, and Train. Fucking loser. How many views are you going to get on your videos?
Forget about the content.
You said forget about all the streamers. Austin.
The only maps you're allowed to play for fun. You can still make videos about the other maps, but the only maps you're allowed to play in 5v5. Let's think about this. You can only play 3 maps for the rest of your time. Every time you load up the game, you're playing those maps. That's it.
For fun.
What are they?
Like, what if I'm recording for content?
That's fine. You can go record for content.
Hold on, but we're blocking off the fun center of my brain because otherwise you're going to be like, well, I can play it on stream.
All right.
No biggie.
So, no. No. Forget
anytime
the content.
You're playing one of those,
forget the content.
Anytime you're playing any map other than those 3, you are getting the dopamine center of your brain severed, and you have no fun whatsoever.
All right. Forget content. If you could play 3 maps just out of what you enjoy the most, what are they?
Nuke. The thing is, like, there's maps I like coaching and there's maps I like playing. They're different.
Yeah,
I think Nuke.
You can get good at Nuke if you play it for the rest of your life.
I played it like a reason. If I play it for the rest of my life, I could get good at it. It's gonna take me that long. Fuck off.
I'm just saying.
Okay. I would say Cash, but I think the only reason I like Cash is because so few people have played it that I win it like 80% of the time, and I always dominate on it because I've played it 1,000 times.
Well, I mean, that's fair though.
Players haven't.
If that's why you like it, that's why you like it.
Yeah, but if it's the best pug map. It's got to be Cash. Cash is
okay.
Too good of if for a pug, if we're talking about playing pugs, Cash is the best pug map.
I like that pick.
Fuck Mirage.
Fuck Mirage.
New Inferno kind of sucks.
Yes.
I really like Anubis. I suck at Anubis, but I like it. So Anubis, Cash, Nuke. There you go.
There you go. There's 3 maps from all over there. Which version of Nuke though? The current one?
Yeah. Oh, and we're allowed to pick old versions because I would pick CSGO Inferno in a fucking second.
Oh, yeah. I figured Anubis, that you knew that. Not current maps. All maps. Any iteration. You want to rethink your choices. Any iteration of any map. 3 maps for the rest of time.
No, if I'm playing it for the rest of my life, fuck that. I want maps. I want to learn something. I don't want to play the same maps I played forever. So yeah, Anubis has to be in there. So Inferno has to go. And Cash is just too good of a pug map.
Right. So you're picking Cash, Nuke, and Inferno?
Yeah.
Or sorry, no. Cash, Nuke, and Anubis.
Yeah.
Okay, which is good. So the 3 maps I would pick, if I could only play them for the rest of my life, I would pick Anubis. But I don't know if that's recency bias because it's still new, so I would be excited for a little bit. But I would definitely pick Anubis. And for me, I have to pick CSGO Inferno. It's too good. It was my favorite map in CSGO. I'm still kind of sad that it's not in the game anymore. A real shame. And another map that I think a lot of people don't think about when it comes to like maps that are fun to play, that you could probably play for a long time and not get too tired of it. I actually really enjoy Ancient. I think it's a lot of fun for years to come. If it stays a very, the same layout, it's very simplistic. That's a good pug map. It's really fun in Team CS as well. So I'm picking Ancient and Anubis and CSGO Inferno. I really like Ancient and Anubis. I think there's a lot of things that are still yet to be discovered on both of those maps. You could be playing those maps for years to come, and we probably will be. And so, with that, CSGO Inferno is too good to lose. Really sad that it's not in the game. But it is what it is.
Anyone that says Cobble is a fucking idiot. That map was dog shit. Look, everyone knew it was dog shit.
I hate Cobblestone. I get so many people that are Cobble defenders that come to my chat, and wow, that map is ass. I didn't play when Cobble was in the game, but I watched a lot of pro games on it, and let me tell you, wow, what a terrible map. You just rush B, and if you don't, then you lose. You can't win positionally. You have to play fast. Or you do the double mollies drop. Icky. What a terrible spot on the map that was. Drop, yeah, one-way drop. Yep, there's a shotgun waiting for you down there. Enjoy. Fuck Cobble. Why the hell is there a giant tower where operas sit in pugs? That's like, I know for a fact that that's what it was like. People just sat there because they thought they could. I'm holding the A push. Oh, really? Are you? Like, Jesus, that's a terrible map.
You know what map also sucks? Hard shot to hit. It was so far away. There's no angle like that.
All right. Here's another map that people like that I think sucks. Cash. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I like Cash for pugs. That's it. If you try to take that map anywhere past Cash, it's 100%. Terrible.
No, 100%.
You cannot play that map in the team. It's too static.
Yeah. No, I tweeted. And there was disagreements though. Maui Snake said he wanted it. Otherwise, seemingly intelligent people that have now outed themselves as fucking idiots, apparently.
True, actually.
What to see what teams would do with Cash. The moment the
that'd
boost
be interesting.
Smoke, the moment people figured out the instant boost smoke to smoke the molly, the map was ruined. That's it. That's the end. Like the fact that
true, because mid was too hard to hold.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Before that, it was an okay map. It was still stale, but it was okay. But once people figured that out, it was fucked. It's just done.
Here's another map that also sucks. We haven't talked about Train. Awful map. Actually awful.
No.
If you like Train, you are 100% over the age of 25. And you are blinded.
No, you're not. Austin.
No, you're not, buddy.
I'm early 20s.
And you are blinded by nostalgia.
Does this look like the hairline of someone that's over 24?
No, you look like somebody who likes Train, Cobble, and Cash. Okay, so here's what I'm saying. Train is awful. And if you like Train, it's because you played it when the older versions of CS, whether that be the old version of Train in CSGO or in 1.6 or Source or whatever games you played.
That was like a different map though. That was like CS Source.
But that's why people are like liking the map, because they remember those versions of it, and it's still kind of similar. But here's the thing: what on earth is fun about running out of T-Con and getting opt from across the fucking universe and back Ivy by an op? What's fun if you don't have an op?
NA thing you've ever said in your life, Austin.
Dude, everybody that likes the map is puggers. They just run out and get opt. You hold these like super long lines. Yeah. You're just getting killed from so far away. You have to have a scoped gun to deal with those fights. Mm-hmm. If you're an AK taking a fight on an op, you lose. It's actually so far of a fight that the AK doesn't one tap.
Yeah.
It gushes or dinks. How is that fun? How is that fun? There's this thing called smokes on train, says this guy in chat. Congrats. I played train in a team and I still hated it. You know why? Because what would happen? You would throw the sandwich smoke and you would get a guy to jump out Olaf right away, right? And what would happen? You get nade stacked. You get spam behind the camera smoke. And you never, ever, ever get out of TCon without taking damage or without getting spammed through the smoke. It was impossible. I did not enjoy it. It was, even though I didn't get off from across the map.
When did you play the map?
2019.
Because I feel
right before it got taken out for Ancient.
Yeah, because I feel like there was a time where the operas kind of got figured out with not with the sandwich smoke, but with the sandwich and e-box smokes. They were kind of required at the beginning of every round, but that did.
Well, yeah, yes, because you could get out, but you were still having to deal with back green pressure, like the back green train pressure. Also, like the spam from camera. I remember one of my defaults on CT side was to literally nade TCon and then go through the sandwich smoke to just kill people who are low running through the mollies. Because you had two mollies that you threw. You threw the molly TCon and the molly the Ivy player threw to land in Olaf. So if anybody went out, they were just going to stand there and you could just kill them from sandwich.
Yeah. That's why nobody
just
went out Olaf.
And exactly. So then what do? You throw the sandwich smoke and the e-box smoke to get out of TCon early. Then you can't get out. So now you're just stuck and you just have no, like, it's not a very fun map. I never had a good time playing it. On the flip side of things, CT side is easy, laughably easy. I can't think of a time when I ever felt like, oh man, this CT side is, I can't figure out what to do. Like, dude, no, it was so easy. You have 4 people A. The map was so easy. You literally had 1 person B at all times. That's not fun to me. I just didn't like the map. I didn't think it played very well. Admittedly, some of the pro matches. I played it a good, probably like 50 times in matches.
Listen, you got to pump those numbers up, Austin.
I watched pro matches of Train, and I did kind of enjoy sometimes. But the problem is that I didn't think that the map had a lot of moments where it was exciting. There's a lot of rounds on Train where there was nothing going on for the first few minutes.
Yeah.
And then you just walk out late Ivy because you have to. And then you do these like awkward B splits where you go through old bomb down the stairs and you're splitting B through CT. What the hell are we doing? Like, I didn't enjoy it. And that's just my opinion. I thought it was a very bad map, very boring. If you tried to pug it, you're getting out from across the map because nobody knows the smokes. And yeah.
That's what makes it good, though.
No.
I think the fact that you have to play strategically with a lot of tactical depth, you have to use your utility well, is what made it a good map. In fact, I think, in my opinion, every map in the pool basically prioritizes a different skill set.
I also agree with you on this. I've had my own. I thought this on my own.
And Train was dealing with oppers.
Yeah, I mean, that could be true. I agree that is what it was there for, but I still don't think it was a good map because of that.
I think it required a lot of strategic depth. The only problem with Train is the same as the problem with Cobble, is the fucking drop zone, aka ladder room, is
a pop dog.
Yeah, terrible. It was terrible. It was like you either have a good ladder player on CT side or you're fucked. You're fucked.
Yeah, that is true. Fucked. I was a ladder player actually when I played on Train. Yeah. And I remember when you would hold for the drop, like, because they would do the double head boost drop thing. You would just hold for that, and you would get free 2Ks all the time. That was the only feasible way to take ladder.
I would get free deaths a lot. Okay, listen. Okay.
Or you well, I would die when people would kill me midair. That wasn't fun. Yeah. But you would either get a double kill, or you would get mollied out, and then you would just kind of go from there. You would molly back. They have to go back up the ladder. It's not a very fun map. I keep thinking about all my memories playing the map.
You played fucking ladder room, okay? Because the rest of the map was fun.
I also played. I played ladder, but I also played I don't know what the spot is called anymore. But I was like the A player, like the guy that would go on top of green, top of blue train, and just like maintain TCon or whatever. I didn't like that either. It was just not fun. I don't know, man. My experience with Train, maybe it wasn't like peak Train, but the Train that I knew was still strategic. It just did not enjoy it. I'm not even speaking as someone who had trouble dealing with operas necessarily. I just actually don't like the map. I don't like it. There was too many timings as well. That was another thing I hated about it. CT side, is somebody out TCon? I don't know. How do you check? Oh, we have a guy on the bomb train, one guy Ivy, one guy in ladder. and then one guy is like red train, like on the E-box or whatever. Is there somebody out? I don't know. Well, who's going to check? I don't know. And then we end up just not checking for a long time because it's just a question mark. There's a timing to get out to Olaf or to Sandwich or whatever. Then it's like, oh, a B hit's coming in. And then you start rotating and somebody just dies. Somebody just dies to sight or out, like outside in like hell or something. You're like, what the? That guy's there the entire time? Yeah, that map wasn't fun because there was sometimes you just literally couldn't clear that stuff because if you tried to clear it, you're overextending on your CT side. Not a fun map.
Yeah, the other problem was that there was a spawn on T side that doesn't matter in pugs, but obviously matters in competitive.
The spawn, the one you have to take to go out, or to rush ladder.
You only have on 65% of your rounds. So
yeah,
like basically there was a large RNG.
This was a complaint. This was a complaint you had about Dust 2 as well. The Dust 2 spawns dictate your T side and your CT side, but mostly your T side. If it's like, all right, guys, their long sucks, and then all of a sudden 5 people spawn for the B spawns, you're like, well, guess we're not going long this round. I don't like that. I like that the new maps only have 5 spawns.
I think that sucks, but
I think it's better.
It's better in that Dust 2 is like the extreme. Dust 2 CT side.
And Mirage.
Oh, wait, Dust 2 CT side is fine. No, Mirage? No, Mirage is perfect. CT side, there's too many. There's fucking
16 spawns. There's like 16
there's
spawns on Mirage.
There's too many, but the idea behind them is good. None of them give you a massive advantage, but they do adjust the timings for things. I think that's really good. I don't think the spawns should dictate the entire way you play a map, but they should open up potentials to try and find timings to catch players off guard that they might not be expecting. Like Mirage, the fact that you can, like, if you play connector, it's so easy to just base your play off of spawns because, well, you kind of have to. Where it's like, okay, I've got the best 3 spawns, I can jump out window to connector if I want. If I've got the A side spawns, I can cross or I can like double up A. If I've got the bad spawns, I get kind of cucked, which sucks. And if I got
but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, true, but if you just took away some of the shittiest spawns, you know, and then you just had the good ones.
Yeah, but then you always have good spawns. That hurts the T side. What they should do, they should just centralize all the spawns and make it 5 spawns. That's it. That's what they should do. They should centralize them in the middle of the spawn zone and just give them 5.
Why don't we just become fucking Valorant, Austin? Why even have spawns? Just give us a window.
Saying,
put a wall up.
It's
and you
no
can go
fun.
Wherever you want.
It's no fun that there's random spawns. Even though I love CSGO Inferno, I hate CSGO's T spawns. You would sometimes okay, I remember I went to Romania. Okay, I've mentioned this many times. When I went to Romania, this actually happened to us. We wanted to run a fast strat because we were on eco. It was a make or break round, you know, like it's one of those you kind of have to do some damage or win it, or we're out of this game, all right? And we're like, we called the strat while somebody was clutching. We're talking in dead comms, whatever. All right, we're gonna do a B rush this round. Great. And then we got the 5 worst spawns, and it's like, well, we can't do the B rush now, but that was our only chance back into this game. And then we tried to run the B rush anyway, because fuck it, and we lost because we ate nades. Who would have thought? So it's like, I don't like that you might have the perfect plan, and then all of a sudden you don't get the spawns that you need, and it's like, all right, well, we don't have the.
Too.
Inferno's bad for that.
CT T-spawn Inferno is really good. CT Inferno is perfect spawns.
Agreed. Yes, I agree. There's 6 spawns.
There's 6? I thought there was like 7. Right?
There's 6. Yeah.
6. Yeah, it's still good because the spawns matter. And when your player gets one of those spawns, you can play.
I think you can have a map with 6 spawns for just a slight bit of that.
But what about 7?
7's too much.
What the fuck is the difference?
If you want to have one spawn that you can sometimes not get, okay, sure. But I think having like 16 is too many, or like however many old Inferno I did. The T spawn ones were rough. Okay, I was also a banana defaulter, and sometimes if you got the good spawn, you could take banana. Sometimes you're just not going in banana, and you have to play to retake it. I did not enjoy that as a banana player. It's like, man, I'm on a hot streak. I'm feeling it this game, and I just never get to play in banana. What the fuck? I don't even get to play the spot. I'm spamming a smoke the entire fucking round. It's not fun. I didn't enjoy that.
Yeah.
But yeah, CT Vertigo, T Vertigo, both of those maps have 5 Ancient and Anubis. All 3 of the new maps have 5 spawns only.
Yeah, well, the other thing they do with 5 spawns.
Ancient and Anubis are easily the best maps in the pool right now and in the game. I don't think it's a coincidence.
It's definitely a coincidence.
No, I don't think
no,
so.
No, I think the other thing they do with 5 spawns is they make all the spawns exactly the fucking same. They're so close together. I guess like they matter the tiniest amount.
Imagine Anubis where you could randomly get a spawn that you were fast enough to drop out of the hole in the bridge on CT side.
No, that would be egregious, obviously.
That's how it is on Mirage. You have some spawns where you can legitimately jump to catwalk, and some spawns where you can't even get to the window through the murder hole before somebody's top mid.
Actually, that is the worst part about pugging is begging
That's
your
what I'm
A player,
saying.
hey, can you flash mid? Flash mid for me, I got a map. I finally bought top. Can you flash mid for me so I can peek window? No, I'm going to peek anyways, and I'm dead.
If there was 5 spawns, or any more than 5 spawns on Anubis CT side, the map would suck. Because, I got a good spawn for a B. I'm going to swing through E-box before they fucking get there. Oh, dude, I beat them to B main. You already almost beat them to B main as it is. Then, oh my God, it would break the map. Imagine you got a spawn for A, a quick one. Now I'm running through A main because you would beat them in A main with the 5 spawns we have. You would be beating them. So you could flash through A main with a good spawn. You would fuck up so many rounds. And the way it is right now, everything is very standard. You can always reliably have the timings. So the rounds play a lot better. That isn't a coincidence that the best maps in the pool have 5 spawns. It isn't a coincidence. It's a lot more predictable. I do not agree. I genuinely think having limited spawns makes it better. That's why Vertigo's a good map, but we're not ready to have that discussion yet on this podcast, unfortunately.
Okay, listen, you know what they need to do? No, I've solved all the problems, okay? So first of all, the 5 spawns and the timings and stuff, they make it like that. They could adjust the spawns to work well, but differently, okay? But here's the thing. What they need to do to solve the problem that you had in Romania, okay, is cycled spawns. I will fucking argue this till the end of the fucking
You brought this up, but I don't like that.
Why not?
Because I don't like the fact that you have to plan around the spawns you're going to have in the upcoming rounds. No, but you do.
You have the
That's
option
what you're
of planning
saying.
around the spawns.
Yes. Oh, we got bad spawns this round, which means next round we get good spawns. So next round we're going to be rush. Yeah, and then the other team also knows next round uses your good spawn round.
No. They don't. You game plan around that. There were many times when I was playing on cycled spawns that it would go, you're going to go to this area, but you're going to delay it for a second so they don't know you got that spawn. That's strategic depth.
I just don't think that that's a better solution than just giving it 5 spawns. What happens when your cycled spawns just so happen to be every cycle, your worst spawns are their best spawns? That's a free round on T side almost every time. If they want to do something quick on those rounds, you're not even there in time. What are you going to do? And it's going to sync up, right? Like there's only so many cycled spawns. It's just going to be like that every time. And if let's say the problem in Romania happened, we got our best spawns, they got their worst spawns. We did the B rush, it worked perfectly. Oh, they had their worst spawns. Wait a minute. Next time we have those spawns, we're just going to do it again. They can't stop us.
Well, usually CT spawns being 5, I'm fine with.
Oh, really?
T spawns should be.
Why does it make
CT spawns should be 6, maybe 7, but 5 is okay. But T spawns should be a variety and they should be cycled.
I disagree.
I've never heard the argument about the syncing thing, and it was a really good argument. It was like that was a S tier argument.
Yeah, I got your ass. It only took 2 years to come up with that one.
That was good. No, but I changed my mind. Now CT spawns don't have to. You don't have to have a lot of them.
Now we compromised, and CT spawns don't have 5 spawns, but T side still needs the spawns. Why? Think about train again. What happens if you just never get that spawn, dude? Like that spawn you need sometimes to take fast control.
That one was dumb.
But they're all dumb if you think about it. Why would you need a good spawn to do a strat?
You don't.
Oh, dude. We want to. Oh, dude, it's a half buy. Let's rush B. We're on Mirage. We got the fucking A spawns. The ones closest to Ramp and Palace.
You don't need
those.
You don't need those.
Yeah.
The problem with the train one was that it was one spawn.
So if you don't need them,
it was too good.
Then what's the point of having them if you don't need them?
Because you have a slightly better timing, and you might catch someone slightly off guard.
Then what's the point though? Okay, on Anubis and Ancient, both of those maps, you still can get timings with your spawns. There's still a best spawn. The person you're playing against, this is where it matters, okay? I play mid.
This is random again, and you're saying it's perfect, but this is random.
No, this isn't the random part. I play mid, okay? If I get the best spawn for mid, for T side, I will be able to know that I can challenge mid pretty reliably. But if the mid player got the best spawn too, then we take a duel. But if he didn't, then I have an advantage. If I got a bad spawn and he got a good spawn, then he gets mid.
Yeah, this is random.
That's where it comes in though. But you're not getting a crazy timing. And it's also not random because those spawns always exist. We're never denied the ability to do something because we have bad spawns.
Yeah, you might have a bad
It could just be a different person. Yeah, but in a team setting, you'll always be able to do it. If we want to take fast mid and I don't get the spawn, it doesn't matter. We can still do it. I don't know the new Inferno spawns at all because I don't play that shit map. But I do know old Inferno. There was 2 spawns that you could get where if you got the front spawns on T side, you could get into banana without them getting there, or even if they threw the deep nade, it wouldn't hit you.
Yeah.
So you needed those spawns to take banana.
That's exactly why spawns like that are good. Because there are spawns, that deep nade then has a risk in that some of the spawns can get ahead of it and some of them can. So knowing the spawns is useful as the T side because you know which ones you can play forward and which ones you can play back. And as the CT side, you don't have a nade that's like, well, I just throw this nade every round because it hits all their fucking spawns every time. They have to wait behind the fucking nade.
But you still would have that variation even with 5 spawns. You would have a spawn that was still closest to B, and that spawn would probably beat them. So if your banana defaulter got the spawn, he'd be fine. You're saying that we're removing the ability to still get the good spawn for what you want to do. It's not gone.
What, Austin, if you just had more spawns and you cycled them?
That would be awful. That would actually be awful. What would make that fun? We just talked about this.
You can know what spawns you're going to have in the future. And you can plan
then again, so can they.
They don't know what spawns you have unless you've shown. There's a strategy because the CT side, they have to know. Sometimes people call it wrong. They were like, they got the best spawn, so they're going to have it in 4 rounds. And you go, okay, well then let's play against that in 4 rounds. And they didn't have the best spawn, and you get fucking trolled because they do have the best spawn.
But we're just going to assume that wouldn't happen in this argument because anybody can fuck anything up.
Yeah, but there's only certain plays that the timing matters for, right? Like, if you have the best spawn on T side, on Inferno, let's say, old, like, CSGO Inferno spawns, and you go mid with it, they probably don't know you had the best spawn.
All right, how about this? Let's change it up. You said that the train spawn is bullshit, but there's other maps that still have bullshit spawns. For example, I think Nuke, CT side, there's a spawn that you can get. If you get it, you can cross the secret. I remember one night we tested the timing a lot. I don't know if you remember that. This timing to get from the best spawn to secret, and you could do it pretty reliably. But if you don't get that spawn, you can't do it. Yep. That's a bullshit thing because it makes it easier to fight CT side, but sometimes you don't get it. But on T side,
the percentages as T side.
There is a spawn that you can get on T side that you can literally get down the vent before the CTs get up to the top of the ladder and have their accuracy back. I'm not even joking. That is a real thing. There is a spawn for that. And if you get that spawn, you know as a T, you can get down vent. What the fuck do you do on CT side? You just like, oh, they're down vent. Fuck, I can't. Fuck, they got the spawn, bro. What the fuck am I? You can what do you do? That's not a fair spawn to just randomly get. You cannot plan around that. Oh, our CT side's going well, and all of a sudden this round they get one down vent. Fuck us, I guess. Like,
yeah, those spawns are a little too strong.
Exactly.
I like the CT one though.
You like the CT one. Why wouldn't you just always get that spawn though, so you could always consistently fight outside?
It's a percentages thing.
Yes, but you're thinking about it from the coach stuff that you've done before.
The T side has to respect that's
you're
possible.
Thinking about it. You're thinking about it way too analytically. Percentages. Why would we care about percentages? Percentages.
Austin,
well, 50% of the time they could be in secret.
Life is percentages. Austin, you wear a seatbelt.
Just like
listen, Austin, you wear a seatbelt.
There are
times
in
your life. There are situations. I guarantee it. There's a situation where someone died because they had their seatbelt on. They would have survived. They had no seatbelt on. Okay, but percentage-wise, it's smart to have a seatbelt on, okay?
This has absolutely nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Life is percentages, so don't go on waffling about how percentages don't matter and I'm too analytical. Like everything you do is a percentage. I'm just saying
there's so many maps, end of maps past, that were dictated by spawns, and I think it sucks. Old Ancient, CSGO Ancient had different spawns, and I know that if there was a set of spawns that you would get where if you got them, you went out mid because you knew you'd beat them no matter what. Mm-hmm. But if you got a set of spawns that were towards B, you could take fast B. Why is it that the side is dictated by that? You literally cannot take mid if you get the bad spawns. You just can't do it.
I just think that CT Nuke had the best spawns. Those were perfect.
I don't even think that the CT Nuke spawns are bad. I'm saying just to simplify everything and to make everything better, there should just be 5 centralized spawns.
Yes.
In the
better? I disagree.
I think it would make it better. Again, I'm saying, running back to what I said about Ancient and Anubis, do you think it's a coincidence that those are the best maps? Because I do not.
Austin, you made honestly a really, really compelling argument that spawns that are good enough to be worthwhile in order that the spawns that I want in order to use cycling are, in order for them to be worthwhile, they have to be innately too strong, which is fair. Yeah, I mean, I think you've got a good point. I think you've undersold the idea of the other team knowing which spawns you have. That is its own skill, and they can know it or not know it. You made a good argument.
I'm telling you, it's just true.
CT Nuke spawns were perfect though. Those are perfect.
I don't even think that they're bad. I'm telling you, I don't think that it's like such a big point that the maps are unplayable with different spawns. I'm just saying that it would probably be better. Like I said, as an like, let's say T side, you get Ancient, T side Ancient, you get the best spawn.
All right, Austin, you're right.
I've always wanted to hear that. I won. I finally beat his ass in a fucking argument. Thank God. I never thought I'd see the day. Guys, I need an award. I feel like I just peaked in life. This is fantastic.
I still prefer the cycle spawns though.
See, that's preference, but you know.
But no, I think you, at least in terms of ease of making it work, it is a lot easier. Could you make it balanced without it?
I told you, you could have 6 spawns and I think it's still doable. Genuinely. With one cycled spawn that's just random.
Oh, you'll give me that? Is that a crumb
I think that's
my one
I think
extra
that's doable.
Spawn, Austin? My
I
one
think that's
spawn
doable.
I could have, and I'm allowed this?
Wait, you could have one, like, because it doesn't need to be like, okay, instead of being like this, like the half circle that the 5 spawns are, you could have a full circle where you could get one spawn that's in front of the others that could maybe be better. You know what I'm saying? I think that that's still
and it
like,
should be cycled.
I mean, that one can be cycled if it really needs to be cycled. It doesn't matter though, because it's gonna feel like it is anyway.
Yeah,
this guy is still going.
You're on board.
But anyway, yeah. So that's what I'm thinking. I think we waffled a while about that one, but this is, look, you said the goal of the podcast was to have our conversations mimic the 3 a.m. conversations that we have. You know what? I think that's a good place. I think it's a good place to leave it. What do you think? We have one more. Let's talk about the Patreon for people who wanna check it out.
So we got the Patreon, voostin.
What do they get on the Patreon? What do they get on the Patreon?
$10, ask a question each podcast. $20. So this is something we're gonna do once we actually get a few members. So if you're the first member, we don't know if we're gonna remember to do this. But basically, the idea is we're gonna give people a role that they can join. They can essentially join the chat within reason. If you're a dick about it, you're gonna get banned. But basically, someone can, in theory, join the podcast at some point and argue a point that they want to argue, or bring up a topic that they want brought up. That's essentially the point of it. That's why there's a limited number of it. But I think people will fill that up once we put out the podcast regularly. I don't think anyone wants to sub to the podcast when our last podcast was a month ago.
No, it's fine. No, we actually are going to do them weekly now. Like I said, there was just some stuff going on, but it's all good.
Yeah. I'm not going to do leg day before podcast. That really
don't eat jalapenos before the podcast either.
During the podcast.
Or during. Yeah, that was rough. But good. Yeah, so check out the Patreon. It'll be in the description of the YouTube video.
Every Tuesday, Austin? Wednesday?
Every Tuesday?
Thursday?
Yeah, fuck it. We can do it every Tuesday.
I didn't mean to do that.